Hi, everybody. Good Saturday night to you, and welcome to Hall Stadium and VypeFortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend County football in Week 10 of the season, which means every game is important, especially this one, as tonight we have the Clements Rangers against the George Ranch Longhorns, and what's basically at stake here is the winner knows they are going to the playoffs. I'm Roger Smith along with James Kovaleski. Welcome in, James. You know a lot about both of these teams. Although you have not seen Clements, you know their head coach very well. And I know that it's kind of a time of apprehension and anxiety for the Clements Rangers, even though I think they have a very good chance to win tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I was talking, we'll bring you the interview that I did with Coach Darnell on the field before the game, but who would have thought just even 1 year ago or 2-3 years ago that we could say that Clements and George Ranch will be playing a meaningful game at the end of the season. I mean, in the past we've had maybe Clements and Austin playing a good game to close out the year, like some of teams in the kind of lower half of the standings. But now they're playing a team that has a state championship pedigree, back when they were in 4A when they burst onto the scene. So it's just kind of surreal, I guess would be the word. And coupled with that, the fact that, Bobby's two kids, Micah and Marcus, who I've known since they were about up to my ankle, are now seniors. So just a lot. It's a surreal moment for me. I got to admit, I try to stay impartial for the most part, but I am very heavily rooting for Clements tonight. I'm hoping they can kind of fulfill that dream that Coach Darnell had when he stepped onto the campus or re-stepped onto the campus at Clements years ago.
Yeah, we have no doubt in the capabilities of Coach Darnell and how he can build a program. However, just based on what we've seen over the last decade plus from Clements, you kind of wonder, will they have this good of a chance again? So that's why you and I are both have our heartstrings pulling in one direction. And nothing against George Ranch, but the Clements Rangers have been waiting a long time. I think their senior class was kindergartners the last time that the Rangers were in the playoffs. So, well, tonight the countdown to kickoff show is all you, Mr. Kovo, and we shall be back with that. And we'll have a conversation not only with Coach Darnell of Clements, but another mystery coach that we're probably going to encounter very soon, like in the first round of the playoffs. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
When everything works together, it's a beautiful thing. With Xfinity, you get Wi-Fi faster than a gig to power a house full of devices, so your home becomes a symphony of activity. We start with Dad streaming cooking videos in the kitchen. Add a little gaming in the basement. Gorgeous. Now let's bring in some working from the couch. And finally, the sweet melody of Grandpa streaming his nature shows. Can your internet do that? And there goes Grandpa.
Power a house full of connected devices. Learn more about Wi-Fi speed faster than a gig and other fast speed options. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 12/31/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect 50 megabits per second Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig Internet and XFi gateway. Actual speeds vary.
All right, James Kovaleski back here on the Vype Live countdown to kickoff. I'm joined by my old friend Jimmy Hammond, head football coach of the Seven Lakes Spartans. Jimmy, you and I both coached together at Rich Point for several seasons, and you were there even beyond after I had left. And you're slated to most likely face the Panthers in the first round of the playoffs. That'd be your third time as the head football coach of Seven Lakes, and already the short time you've been head coach to face them. Is it different playing somebody that you're so familiar with, or is it just another opponent that you prepare for the same way?
I think as the time has passed a little bit, and Coach LeFevor's going over there. Although we did work with him for a year together, but he's changed the program a little bit. They do different schemes on offense and defense, and the players are different than I remember them. So I think it's not just another team. There's still a team that I have fond memories coaching with and wearing those colors. But at this point, we've separated ourselves a little bit to where it looks a little bit different than I remember it, with a different coaching staff, with the different players, but still very talented, well-coached team.
And just focusing on the present, you had a great dominant victory last night over the Maid Creek Rams. Can you just share a little bit for any Seven Lakes fans who are tuning into the broadcast? Tell us a little about that victory and what it meant for your team.
Well, it's big because, this will be the third time we've made the playoffs in 4 years, and the previous 2 times it came down to beating Cinco Ranch in the last game. So now we have a little bit of a cushion, if you will. Not that we're going to take it easy or not try to go beat Cinco Ranch, but it feels a little different going in. Instead of a must-win to get in situation, we know we're in, and that feels a lot different going into the last game. It was a great win for us. I think we played well on both sides of the ball. We got 4 turnovers on defense, and we're able to capitalize on those turnovers, ran the ball well. So it was exactly what you want going into your last week and tuning up for the playoffs.
In your first year, you kind of revitalized the campus with a thrilling win over Cinco Ranch that hadn't happened in a long time. I think I jokingly told you that you're about to get the key to the city. As time has passed, you've continued to get wins against them, but this year is shaping up to be their best year in very recent memory. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing from Cinco Ranch leading into that game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We had lost to them every single time we had played them up to 2018. So from 2007 through 2018, we had lost to them. We beat them in 18, 19, and 20, and they were kind of rebuilding. But what you see right now is a very potent passing attack. They got a great quarterback, Gavin Rutherford, 2 good receivers. They really air the ball out. So that's going to be a challenge for us. I think they can run the ball. They just haven't had to run the ball as much. And they play a good 4-2-5 style defense that we're accustomed to the structure of it, but they're doing it with good guys. They're 6-3 right now. Both of us are 6-3, so we're looking for our 7th win, and that'd be big for both of us. And both of us are tuning up for the playoffs. Neither of us want to, have a letdown game right before you have to go play someone good in the playoffs. So I think you'll see a good game. I think you'll see it's a rivalry game for us. Even though there's no playoff implications in the game, I think you're going to see 2 well-coached teams playing disciplined football, trying to get their 7th win of the season and get themselves ready for the playoffs.
All right, thank you, Coach. Best of luck. Kickoff right around the corner here on Vype Live.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
All right, welcome back to the Vype Fort Bend Countdown to Kickoff. James Kovaleski here, Bobby Darnell, my old friend. Coach, we're just coming from the Ridgepoint game at Trailer. They were able to pull away from Bush in the second half of that game and get a definitive win. We spent a lot of good years together at Ridgepoint. I remember when you first came to Clements, at the very beginning, it was some tough games. But it just seems like every single year you've kind of just progressed the program forward and forward and forward. And now you're sitting here with 6 wins already in 2021. Can you just kind of describe to your fans who listen to our broadcast, what has that journey been like?
It was never going to happen overnight, and I hope everybody understood that. I definitely understood that. It didn't fall overnight, so it wasn't going to get built back up right overnight. So we just try to get better and better every single year, not taking anything for granted, taking one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, and every year try to figure out what were we lacking that year, what were we lacking this year, and whether it's depth or stuff like that, you figure it out and you continually evaluate and self-reflect on what it is you can do better. And I think this is the year that we've just done specific things to work on finishing those games. We talked a lot about last year how there was 3 opportunities where we lost by 1, lost by 6, lost by 7, and now we've won those games this year. So that's the biggest difference. You got to self-reflect and figure out how can you fix something that is fixable.
And Clements probably hasn't been in a game of this magnitude since I don't know 2008, 2007, late in the 2000s. Definitely. You're now playing George Ranch. This is a team that has like a state championship level pedigree in different classifications. So I think it's amazing. If you told people a couple years ago, George Ranch and Clements playing in a meaningful game, you've kind of talked about what it means and what you need to do. But as far as tonight, when you look at George Ranch, what do you feel are those couple keys to victory?
Well, you said it perfectly. They are a team that's won a state championship. They've had a lot of success. They're one of those measuring stick games for us. How do we stack up against the Ridge Points, the Travises, the George Ranches? How we close the gap. And they're very talented on both sides of the ball. They've used 2 quarterbacks this year, and both of them are very talented. The twin receivers are really, really good, 2 and 4. Their secondary is good, even though I think maybe one is missing today. Their inside linebackers, their defensive ends. It's just top to bottom a very great team. But again, to be in a meaningful game right now with a lot on the line, I told our kids there's no pressure on us. We're just doing what we do every single week. We try to be the toughest team every week. We try to just be a hardworking, blue-collar, competitive team every single week. And we're going to try and go do our best today, and we'll see what happens.
And, Coach, last question on a more personal front. Your 2 boys, they're seniors. Playoffs are not guaranteed. Winning this game will do a lot to get you into the playoffs. But as their career starts to wind down here as seniors, I remember these kids being up to my knee playing football in the backyard. What's it been like as a dad, and not just the coach?
That's been the most special part. It's an hour away from game, and you're going to have me crying, but it's special. To be around every single day of your children's athletic careers, practices, even with my daughter, it's like just to be around them. It's so unique. It's so special. I'm cherishing every single day, and when it is the time that it's over, it'll be sad because I won't have that chance to coach them anymore. It'll just be mostly a life coach at that point, and just a sounding bar as they go into their young adulthood. But love those boys to death, love my daughter to death, love my wife to death, and just I'm fortunate and don't take anything for granted.
Coach, we're all proud of everything you've done, but I think we're not satisfied. We want to see you get over the top. The whole Vype Fort Bend team is going to be rooting for you tonight up there in the press box. So best of luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Kickoff coming soon.
Let's do it.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
VypeFortBend.com broadcasts of Fort Bend County High School sports are brought to you by Xfinity, the future of awesome. By First Tire and Automotive. Make sure your vehicles are in shape for the fall. First Tire and Automotive has 4 great locations, including First Colony. All of them open Monday through Saturday. For the best prices on tires, go to firsttireandauto.com. We'll be right back.
First Tire Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
You are the master of the multi. Everything, and we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business. Hey, high schoolers, are you interested in a career in sports media? Vype can help. Launched in 2017, our Vype U Ambassador Program is a one-of-a-kind educational scholarship program that offers high school students a chance to gain hands-on experience in the sports media field. Vype U also gives students a platform to build their portfolio of creative work under the guidance of Vype's seasoned professionals. From covering games to publishing photos, writing articles, and conducting on-camera interviews, each Vype U ambassador receives an immersive experience geared toward their interests, while promoting their own school and preparing them for their future. Email info@vypemedia.com to find out more about Vype U today.
Fans, tonight's game between the Rangers and Longhorns being broadcast live on FightFortBend.com, your home for Fort Bend County sports. Pop in your earbuds and listen to it right here in the stadium. Plus, you can listen to it later on the podcast absolutely free at FightFortBend.com. Listen for a special halftime interview with former Astros manager Bo Porter. And next week on FightFortBend.com, it's Clements taking on Bush with a playoff spot on the line. Live broadcast is brought to you by Xfinity, Nick's Italian Restaurant, Archer Volkswagen, First Tire and Automotive, Leadville Insurance Agency, and Office Depot on William Street.
All right, we appreciate Todd Harris. He's a teacher and coach at Sugarland Middle School, and he always makes sure when he is the PA announcer that everybody is aware about our Vype Fort Bend broadcast. And now it's time for the captains to go to the middle of the field. For the Clements Rangers, it is injured quarterback Micah Darnell, his brother Marcus, Patrick Smith, and Nathan Morris, one of the stalwarts of the offensive line. And for George Ranch, let's see, I believe we've got Tim Fisher. And by the way, the Clements Rangers have won the toss but deferred. And so George Ranch is going to get the football first. And their other captains include Garrison Backers, also Andrew Syke, and there's one more, and I'll try to get him before they line up for the kickoff. Well, I sure hope so. So it is almost completely, the field is almost completely covered in shade. Let's see, that one captain I didn't miss was Matthew Lambert, and he's shown that he is very hard to handle as a defensive lineman. So George Ranch will get the football first, and they will go from left to right. They will defend the north goal here at Hall Stadium. And you have two teams, James, that are 3-2 in this game. So whoever comes out of here with 3 losses, it would kind of take a miracle to somehow get them into the playoffs.
Yeah, I almost went cross-eyed trying to look at the playoff scenarios. We really need the standings in front of us to just really kind of look at it. But bottom line, whenever you're going against teams like George Ranch, Bush, Ridgepoint, Travis, those teams that are contending for playoffs, it's just win, baby. And I know that's what Coach Darnell's mantra is coming into this one. You beat the Longhorns, you're almost essentially eliminating them, because they have fallen to Travis, they have fallen to Ridgepoint. They complicated things by beating Bush last week. So it is a jumbled picture, but the Rangers, it's not a must-win 100%, but it definitely would help a ton to win this game.
Timothy Kroon, who is very good to get the ball into the end zone whenever he kicks off, has it teed up at the 40. Jaden Shelton is deepest to receive it for George Ranch, and he will take the football at the 1-yard line and go straight up between the hash marks. He's got daylight, breaks one tackle, gets to the 30-yard line before he's finally brought down by the Clements Rangers. It was Zachary Mandeville who went down on coverage. And here we go. What do you think is the key to victory for the offense of George Ranch, who really got some gifts on Monday night when they won that suspended game against Bush?
Yeah, I think the key for them is just protecting the ball. You know, I know we kind of talked about this. George Ranch maybe isn't quite the George Ranch that we come to think of this year. They have got a couple losses to their resume, but they just want to make sure they don't give any easy gifts to Clements as well.
Experienced senior quarterback Cole Murphy gets the first snap, and he throws a little shovel pass that looked like it could have gone for no gain. He got it to Joseph Wilson, but Wilson, with his very quick moves, found 5 yards going along the left set of hash marks, and it's going to be 2nd and 5 for George Ranch.
And that's an encouraging start for Clements. I mean, obviously just the talent of the player there was able to turn that into a 5-yard gain, but that should have been a 2-yard loss. So Clements, they're in the right spots. They're playing downhill. That's a good start for them.
Murphy did not play at all on Monday night. It was Dion Drinkard, and he throws one in the right flat to Joseph Wilson. Just a quick little hitch screen, and he carries it forward for 12 yards and a first down for the George Ranch Longhorns. That's a first down. Think of First Tyrant Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttyrantauto.com. They have it at the Clements, at their own 46-yard line. 2 running backs in the backfield along with the tall and slender Cole Murphy, and he turns around and hands it off to Hyman Drinkard, who's hit early by Avery Clark, but his momentum carries him forward for a gain of 2, going over the left side at 2nd and 8.
This is by far the best Clements team I've seen under Coach Darnell's tenure. I mean, there are some kids that are put together. Avery Clark, Ferris Rafai. I mean, obviously we know about Patrick Smith. I mean, his accolades are too long to list. I mean, I'm really starting to see some. In the past, it's always, they're undersized, they don't have depth, they don't have this, they don't have that. They're putting a playoff caliber football team out there right now. I'm very impressed with my first time actually laying eyes on them. I think coming into the game, even I, who's the biggest Clements supporter, I was a little concerned about the chances tonight for the Rangers. But now seeing them on the field against George Ranch, I see what you were saying. I mean, I don't see a big size discrepancy that maybe I had imagined in my head coming into it.
And you mentioned Ferris Rafai. I love him and Matt McGinnis together as a matched set of inside linebackers. They almost look like twins as far as their physique and so forth, and they just seem to work. They're all of one mind when they're working together. Here we go, 2nd down and 8. Murphy takes the snap, hands it off on a draw. Hyman Drinkard is hit in the backfield, and there is a no-gain play. Ferris Rafai and Avery Clark both right there.
Yeah, you said it perfectly, Roger. When your 2 inside backers in a 3-4 defense move in unison, that's when you're dangerous. When they don't move in unison, that's when you can get creased in the middle for big plays. But I'm seeing what you're seeing, and I'm starting to get I'm getting goosebumps here, Roger, because I'm feeling, wow, this Clements team is way better the first time I've seen them than I expected.
Big play, 3rd and 8, screen set up, and this is going to work for George Ranch. Big yardage inside the 40, inside the 30, as they get the football to Andrew Syke, P-S-Y-K, and that's a first down. So Clements did so well on those first 2 plays on that series of downs, but that was a perfect call against the aggressive rush.
Bingo. I wouldn't worry about it. They caught him in a blitz. They had the exact perfect play call for a blitz. I think Clements is still okay.
1st and 10 from the 28, and running left is Hyman Drinkard. After first contact, he gets 4-5 more yards. They stand him up and blow the whistle, but they're going to give him credit for a 6-yard pickup. And it's going to be 2nd down and 4 at the Clements 22.
Brings up 2nd down.
Not too many people here on the George Ranch side. I'm a little surprised. They usually have the George Ranch Rowdies, but if you notice something missing, it's bands and dance teams. They have stayed home. There's a quick slant over the middle, and it's incomplete, intended for Kyle Kaiser. A lot of traffic in there, and Cole Murphy, with his height, he can kind of throw it downward into a small opening like that, but it was batted down. I couldn't see who did that for Clements.
Yeah, I can tell that Coach Jason Haddock, the defensive coordinator for Clements, a guy that I really love talking football with. He's a very talented defensive coordinator. He's being aggressive tonight. They are not going to just sit back and hope that they can fall into a win here. He's coming after him.
3-man front, 3rd and 4. Murphy with a looping pass down near the pylon, and it is incomplete, intended for Wilson. He was falling backward and covered nicely by Titan Chanelak.
Yeah, Roger, like I alluded to before the game, you've been able to watch this whole district run, and this is my first time watching it, but I think I may have fallen victim to just seeing the name on the jersey of George Ranch versus the name of the jersey on Clements and jumping to some conclusions. But now that I'm putting eyes on them, I see what you were saying. These teams are a lot more evenly matched physically now that I can see them together than I anticipated.
And you did point out earlier that George Ranch got their really toughest opponents out of the way, Ridge Point and Travis. Those are their 2 losses, so they haven't really lost to anybody that they think they should beat. And there is a play-action pass. Murphy is buried as he releases it. It goes incomplete. Gaia Tim came in, and he was knocking Murphy down at the outset.
I'm just laughing. One of my friends, Coach Francis, an assistant coach for Clements, he spotted, who just made that tackle, Roger, number 8?
Gaia Tim.
He saw Gaia Tim, and they both made eye contact, and Coach Francis pointed up because they were going to do like kind of the chest bump thing together. Coach Francis is a guy in his mid-30s like I am. He didn't get up very high, even though he's probably about 6'4". He barely got off the ground, and that's what I was just laughing about because I would look the exact same.
Now here is Gunnar Chenier, the sophomore quarterback who took over when Micah Darnell was injured. He turns around. It's a toss sweep to J.R. Morellas. He is hit in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of 7. And a guy who was really a problem for Bush on Monday, Matthew Lambert, got that big tackle for loss.
Yeah, just George Ranch historically has had really good defensive ends. I remember last year the game that we did, they had 2 really good bookend defensive ends, and those guys have moved on, but this is kind of a thing that they always do well. That right there, that's what we used to call bread and butter. When my first time at Clements and we had Derek Carr and Chris Lenore and made the run to the regional final, we had T-shirts made that said bread and butter, and it was a diagram of our 18 pitch. That was that play right there.
Spread formation again, 2 receivers to either side. Ball on the left hash mark for Clements, and they're going from right to left in the first quarter. And I believe we had to call a timeout, we being Clements. I shouldn't say we. That's not really professional.
Hey, those George Ranch broadcasters talk like it's their home team.
Okay, but they're kind of monogamous. They're Roger Staubach. We're Joe Namath. We have all these teams to date, basically. All right, we'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Chenier gets rid of the ball quickly. Patrick Smith, one quick move, near sideline, cross the 30, cross the 35, still going. A scrum of white jerseys trying to bring him down. He's near midfield, and the Rangers fans are fired up, and so are the Rangers coaches.
Yeah.
As Patrick Smith would not go down. George Ranch says they have the football, but the whistle was blowing before Patrick Smith let go of it, and that's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Coming into this game, what a weapon Patrick Smith has been. 32 receptions, make it 33 now, 19.5 yards a catch and 8 touchdowns. Empty backfield for Chenier on 1st and 10. Throws it quickly, ball tipped up in the air and incomplete. Could have been an interception. And if it would have been an interception, it would have been Stephen Odusola-Steven. Yes, that's right. Stephen Odusola-Steven.
A couple things I noticed. I love Coach Darnell has this he's the most energetic person I've ever met. I wish I could get the kind of sleep that he gets. They're going fast now. I'll let you.
J.R. Morellas in the pistol behind Gunnar Chenier. And they hand it off to Morellis, going off the left side, finds some daylight, gets into George Ranch territory, and a carry for 5 to the 48-yard line.
I just noticed in that Patrick Smith big play on the slip screen, Coach Darnell was running down the sidelines, kind of moving his right arm in a circular motion while pointing forward with his left, almost like a rock and roll guy kind of hitting the guitar. And it's bleeding over to his players. He just has that kind of, I don't know how to describe it, just this energy and this passion, and his team is playing like that.
It's kind of like John Gruden when the Tampa Bay Bucks won the Super Bowl for him. Bootleg rolling right as Chenier being pursued, throws it late, gets the completion, gets a first down. Beautiful pass right at the last instant, got it to Gabriel Mosier, the junior wide receiver. That moves the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
One other thing I'll point out, Roger, Gunnar Chenier, he looks like he belongs out here. I would not have guessed that he's a sophomore, getting his first couple starts of his career. I mean, he moves with purpose. He's always focused on the sideline. He's just he's not a small kid. He's a pretty big kid.
In fact, J.R. Morellis is, and J.R. is about a foot shorter, and Chenier wanted to toss it to Morellis.
Incomplete pass.
I don't know what happened. I hope they call it an incomplete pass, but I think they're going to call it a fumble. Okay, yeah,
Incomplete.
Thank you. The referee, good call there, Kovo.
That's why teams like to do that little, basically they faked the toss pitch, but they snuck a receiver underneath and kind of like a little shovel pass kind of play. It looked weird, but that essentially, since he was throwing it forward, it is an incomplete pass.
Yes.
That's why teams like doing it, because either it's going to be a nice play or incomplete pass.
And Clements students, especially student athletes, are known for their intelligence, so there you go. And by the way, you can talk about this in detail if you want to later, but there are some Clements players missing because of a band competition. There is an inside screen, a bubble screen to Patrick Smith. He's inside the 40, still going. What moves he has. Gets to the 36, and they stop him there, but that's a good play on second down. Did I call it bubble screen. Was it a bubble?
No, I'd call that a slip. A bubble is when it's going out. And that was a screen that's coming in.
Okay.
So tunnel or slip or some of the terms.
I don't know that I will ever figure that out, but
okay.
If I do, it'll be because you helped me out.
I just say first time, I don't know if we need to go to commercial during the timeout here, but Patrick Smith, my first time seeing him this year, wow, every bit as good as advertised and more. He's
Sweet
electric.
feet, huh?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll take a real quick timeout and be back on VypeFortBend.com. No score.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or bring your car in for service from.
Okay, we'll make it up to you, Archer Volkswagen. We got to get back to the action. Third down and a long 5 for the Rangers. Chenier trying to draw George Ranch off. Somebody did rush up there very quickly and then backed off. That's Tim Fisher. Chenier, more instructions for his offensive line. The play clock is at 12. 2 running backs, one on either side of him, and he throws quickly to the sideline, and Patrick Smith was hit right there. It's an incomplete pass, and it's decision time as it's going to be 4th down and 5. Clements has it at the 37 of George Ranch, and should they go for it? What do you think, Kovo? Would you go for it? I think they're going to. Sometimes they'll have the quarterback quick kick it.
I like the quick kick option personally. I really like the way their defense looked in that first drive.
No, he's going to throw it. He's dropping back. Stands strong, throws. Smith over the middle, hit at the 20. First down, Rangers. He knew he was going to get blasted, and as my old coach used to say, you're going to get hit regardless. You might as well catch the ball. Jeffrey Ugochukwu lit him up, but Patrick bounced right back up. First down at the 20, right in the middle of the field.
Pretty cool. Got a couple Dulles Vikings varsity football players coming in. They won their game this afternoon against Austin, so congratulations to them and the big win. And they're checking out some 26A action. It hurt to lose Micah Darnell, no doubt about it, the broken collarbone. But do you have a very able replacement here? He's only a sophomore. It could pay off for him down the line.
Absolutely. There goes J.R. Morellis trying to get outside the pursuit. He does get back to the line of scrimmage, gets about a foot. That's it. George Ranch has good lateral movement, and including their big man, Ayomide Ogunsanya. He can move side to side as well as any big man.
Yeah, so it didn't gain much there. It's going to be a 2nd and 10. Let's just, if you aren't able to get the first down, if you got the ability to, I know it'd be a 37-yarder as it stands right now. I'd love to get the field goal just because the defense looked so great.
Lyle Link can get it there. He kicked a 43-yarder against Pasadena.
Excellent.
So if that's the line of scrimmage, they can't hit a field goal from there. Empty backfield. Chenier drops back, looking over the middle, throws low, and is it caught? No, it's incomplete. The umpire, the guy who lines up right behind the linebackers, saw it hit the ground before it was secured. And was that Marcus Darnell?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't tell if it was 1 or 7, because when the Rangers make a big play in the passing game, it's usually either number 1 or number 7. 3rd and 10. No bands. They're playing some recorded music somewhere, I guess over on the George Ranch side. Mosier goes in motion. Chenier rolling right, throws late, and the pass is broken up. A sliding attempt at a catch at the 10-yard line by Micah Darnell. I'm sorry, Mike is the quarterback. Marcus Darnell. And so it is maybe field goal time.
Looks like they're going to go for it, Roger. Now, Coach Cavallo was arguing that receiver that went in motion, he was kind of drifting forwards towards the line of scrimmage in his motion as the ball was being snapped. And so that's not Canadian Football, Arena Football League. So that could have been called a penalty, but was not called.
So they are going for it. 4th down and 10. 3 receivers on the right. Patrick Smith is in the slot on the right. Chenier steps up, throws hard. It's incomplete, intended for Patrick Smith. No flags, that's it, and the ball will go over on downs. Each defense has forced a turning over of the ball on downs here in the first quarter, and there's 3:41 to go. We have no score.
Yeah, unfortunate for Clements. There would have been nice to go up 3-0. Of course, 7-0, but I'd say Chenier, he does have he does kind of lock in on a target, and I can see that the underneath coverage is keying on that. They're really getting underneath the receiver that he's looking at. If he can do one look off, he may have potential for a huge play.
Cole Murphy turns around, hands it off to Hyman Drinking, and he fumbled the football. I think the Rangers have it. The bug on the rug belongs to Clements. And after turning it over on downs, they get it right back, and Fannin Cross came up with it. Big number 88 doing a very awkward chest bump attempt with one of his assistant coaches, but all that matters is that the Rangers have the football at the 18.
I think that's Coach Francis again. Oh, look, Coach Francis is getting the dog collar. They have like a gold-encrusted dog bone. Is what they just put on Fannin Cross.
That's a thing of beauty right there.
Look how excited those kids. I just love this. And that's you can tell that's a Darnell-led team.
Yes, football should be fun. And Coach Darnell is going to make sure it's fun. Out of the pistol, give to Morellis straight up the middle. Hit hard early, but he pushes forward and got about 3. Took it to the 15. 2nd down and 7 yards to go on the tackle for George Ranch, Morris Baker.
Roger, I'm sensitive for George Ranch. It's their defensive line that's a lot better tonight than their offensive line. And looking at the O-line for George Ranch, I guess I'm a little surprised. They're smaller, I guess, than I remember or thought. I've only seen them once, but
maybe they don't grow them huge every year.
I think it's settling into it's going to be a fairly low-scoring game, I think, tonight.
Play clock is at 7. Chenier moving to his left, looking to the end zone, lets it go, and it's over the head of Marcus Darnell.
He likes to target Marcus Darnell.
Well covered down there in the corner. That was Jeffrey Ugochukwu. So the Clements cheerleaders, you can hear them doing their very best to keep the crowd enthused.
Pass is incomplete with the flag on the play.
Man, we're here, 2:47 left in the first quarter. Like I said, I've got this kind of legal formation or something. But,
yeah, Patrick Smith wasn't lined up either. He wasn't on the line or he wasn't off the line.
We've broadcast so many games over the years where we just kind of have a dejected tone. It's like, well, they're fighting and they're playing hard, and but like we're in a game.
Yeah.
They are in a game fighting for the playoffs, and I didn't. It's just been so long, and I'm so happy for these guys, and it's what I wanted for so many years, and I'm so excited right now.
Chenier sends a man in motion. That's Mo Sear. He drops back. They protect him. He throws end zone. It's tipped up in the air, and it's intercepted by George Ranch. Great positioning by Steven Odasola Steven. He tipped it up, and then he kind of turned around and found it. And Patrick Smith was running behind him, trying to slow his momentum and maybe make a play on it. But that one belonged to Steven.
I do want to point out, Roger, Ferris Rafai. Sometimes when that happens, you see a defense hang their head. Ferris Rafai went onto the field clapping. Almost like his demeanor was like, all right, here we go, boys. Let's take it back again.
Yeah, let's just get another turnover. Here we go.
Man, he's put together. He really is a stout. His legs are huge. I'm really impressed by this Ferris Rafai kid early on here. My first time seeing him.
Murphy with two running backs. Fakes a handoff, throws it to Joseph Wilson in the flat on the near side, goes outside the numbers, then runs over a man, gets across the 30 to the 31. It's an 11-yard pickup. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Andrew Bohovich made the tackle for the Rangers.
In the past, this is where Clements has been weak in the defensive secondary. Now, they're a lot stronger this year, but that's going to be an area that George Ranch is going to try to exploit.
And Murphy turns around and gives it to Drinkard. Look out, he gets past a man, gets to the 40, and keeps on going to the 45, and that's going to be a gain of 15, and yet another first down, and it might even be a good time for the Rangers defensive coordinator to ask for a timeout. Let's just get reorganized because they're getting gashed on those first two plays of this possession. Murphy and the Longhorns playing fast, and there goes Drinkard off the right side. And a little better defending of that play, but it's still a 5-yard pickup into Ranger territory just past the 50.
Yeah, just thinking back to that drive, though, Chenier, like I kind of referenced, he does tend to kind of lock in on the target.
Yeah.
And he's force-feeding his top two receivers, and that's not all bad because those are their two best targets. But that is gonna make things chancy for an interception.
Second and a long 5 and another fumble. The ball is loose, but George Ranch is going to keep it this time. Jaden Shelton was running on what was not quite a jet sweep because he wasn't lined up wide to begin with, but he was running laterally.
I'd call that a stretch play.
And he just kind of, I guess he looked up before the ball was in his arms, or maybe he didn't keep his inside elbow, the elbow closer to his quarterback up. Now it's 3rd and 9. Big opportunity for the Rangers defense to get off the field. Late blitz. Murphy lets it go toward the sideline. It's off the hands of Wilson. Incomplete with Bohovich on the coverage. And it's going to be time for George Ranch to punt. So Rangers defense gave up some yardage, but they do force a punt. All right, here you go. Get a chance to watch Patrick Smith return a punt.
Man, I was saying, I think Clements, they just need some kind of explosive touchdown. Pick six, scoop and score, punt return, kickoff return. They just need something like that tonight, and let's hope this is it.
So Patrick Smith with an average yardage per punt return, 18.2.
Wow.
And it's a low snap. And it's not going to be a punt that Patrick Smith can return. It's rather short. It landed short of the 20, but it rolls on down to the 15. And that's where the Rangers will take over. They have a long way to go with less than a minute, 55.8 seconds to go in quarter number 1. We shall return on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
On first down, J.R. Morellis, hard off the left side. A lot of bodies in his way, but he does pick up a couple of yards. In the middle of the scrum, Tim Fisher for George Ranch. You know, you were mentioning that Ferris Rafai is really put together. I can't figure out whose shoulders are broader. The linebacker for Clements, Ferris Rafai, or the linebacker for George Ranch, Judson Mixon. I mean, he's got that kind of neck roll fullback kind of look to him as well.
Right.
Kind of like Mike Allstott. Chenier sends Mosier in motion. Late blitz, dropping back is Chenier. Better get rid of it, kid. Got it to Patrick Smith on a jailbreak screen, and he gets it to the 22. Did I guess right there? It was a jailbreak screen, and it's good to the 22-yard line, a pickup of 5. That's going to be the end of the first quarter, and when we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Rangers. This is VypeFortBend.com. No score after 1 quarter.
When everything works together, it's a beautiful thing. With Xfinity, you get Wi-Fi faster than a gig to power a house full of devices, so your home becomes a symphony of activity. We start with Dad streaming cooking videos in the kitchen. Add a little gaming in the basement. Gorgeous. Now let's bring in some working from the couch. And finally, the sweet melody of Grandpa streaming his nature shows. Can your internet do that? And there goes Grandpa.
Power a house full of connected devices. Learn more about Wi-Fi speed faster than a gig and other fast speed options. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 12/31/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect 50 megabits per second Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires Gig Internet and Xfi Gateway. Actual speeds vary.
We're back for the second quarter, and the Rangers with the football, 3rd down, and I'm going to say a short 3. Three wide receivers to the right. J.R. Morellis is the running back. Fake handoff to him, and a throw to Marcus Darnell for a first down at the 29. Great execution. Chenier getting the ball out of his hand quickly on a little comeback route. And that moves the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive. For all your car care needs, check them out at firsttireandauto.com. I see there are 4 Clements coaches, any one of which could be giving the real hand signals.
That's right.
4 coaches, so I guess that's paranoia. Usually you do 2 or 3, right? And there's a pass over the middle, another completion to Marcus Darnell right at a 10-yard gain at the 40-yard line. I think that is a first down also.
Pass complete to number 1.
Yeah, I've talked about Chenier kind of tends to steer down targets, but at the same time, on the good side of that, he throws on time.
Yeah.
He knows where he's going, and he delivers it without any fear or trepidation, and he's delivering balls on the money.
Couple of double-figure yardage plays, and now Patrick Smith makes a twist outside the numbers, and he picks up 9. So they didn't get double figures there, but 2nd and 1. Always a good time to look into the playbook on 2nd and 1.
Yeah, so Vype contracts out with Fort Bend and Aldine as well to put out, in like a subscription-type magazine monthly or so. I was reading the summer preview for Fort Bend during our rain game a couple weeks ago. And they did an article interviewing Patrick Smith, and he was talking about his freshman year. We just wanted to win 1 game. Then we wanted to win 2. And now here they are fighting for the playoffs, and they don't look like this stage is too big for them. They're not backing down at all.
I've seen that with Chenier, too, as he's gotten these last 3 starts. Straight up the middle, Morellis on 2nd and 1. He picks up the first down, and the Rangers are kind of getting into a pattern where they have kept the ball for a long time. And if we get down into the late 3rd quarter and early 4th, and it's a still close game, then you want the other team's defense to have been out there for a lot of snaps.
I got to say, Roger, now watch a little over a quarter football. I think Clemens is going to win this game.
All right, knock on wood. J.R. Morellis breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, bounces off one guy, and actually that second guy was Tim Fisher, and he did kind of bring him down. But J.R. Morellis, he's a compact package of dynamite is what he is. He is tough to tackle. He only got about 2 yards on that run, but he made the tackler feel it. And it didn't feel good. Clements moving left to right in the second quarter. Ball on the right hash. They have it at the 46 of George Ranch. Chenier with a play fake over the middle. Mosier got it inside the 25 and down at the 23. Jeffrey Ugo Chukwu, touchdown saving tackle. And Mosier picks up the catch and another big first down for the Rangers.
Oh, man, this is the most fun I've had broadcasting in my career.
In your career?
In
That's
my career of
saying
broadcasting,
something.
5 years of doing this. I mean, watching Morales go up to the sophomore quarterback, Chenier, and just celebrate and high five. I mean, I'm inspired. I want to see if the Rangers can finish this drive, though.
This will be huge. A big psychological boost if they can get the first points, and especially if it's a touchdown and not a field goal. Ball at the 23. Chenier looks to the right, throws. Marcus Darnell got it down at the 18. A pickup of 5. Right there in his face, Ugo Chukwu. But it's consistent gains by the Rangers.
Today I was talking to my wife. She was texting me updates about the Michigan game, and she was talking about the sophomore tight end Eric All for Michigan, who I'm so impressed with, and he's made several big catches, and I texted her, a star is born. I think I can say the same thing about Gunnar Chenier from what I've seen so far.
Well, he does have that raw talent, and it's not so raw. It's looking more and more refined. And before the snap, George Ranch wants to take a timeout and talk about it. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
All right, Rangers trying to punch it into the end zone. No score. There goes Morales. Good blocking at the point of attack. It's a 3-yard pickup down to the 15, and now they're going to need they're going to need 2 yards on 4th down.
I'm going to imagine that they're going to say this is 4-down territory. Now they're 5 yards ahead of where they were last time, but they didn't even really think about the field goal. I think they're going to be aggressive here, and I think they'll go for it on 4th down if they don't get this.
Yeah, they did not even have anyone from the field goal unit heading out to the field at all. 3rd down and 2. There goes Morales. He's hit early. He's fighting for it. I don't think he got there, Kovo.
I don't think so either. That was a great play by number 64, Morris Baker. He just drove the guard into the backfield and made the play. They're going for it. Here comes Ferris Rafai and Michael Kazmarevich. I remember that name, Kazmarevich. The older brother was a heck of a player. I saw Michael down in the field in pregame. He is a put-together junior receiver.
All right, and Avery Clark, number 10, plays linebacker, outside linebacker, but they bring him in these situations when they need a couple of tough yards. They had changed the down box quickly, and so this is 4th down. Chenier fakes the handoff. He wants to throw it. He's got a man open in the end zone, but it's in and out of the hands. Oh, my goodness. Ferris Rafai came out of the backfield. He had to make a dive, but it's a ball he could have caught. Oh,
Roger, and I don't know if he had to dive. I think it was a pretty good ball by Chenier. It's a guy that's a linebacker. I think he didn't trust his speed to be able to run under that, and he dove. And it was a heck of an effort, but I think he might have been able to run under that and trust his speed.
Well, the Clements defense, with the game still scoreless, will probably try to do something to pick up the offense. And there's a give up the middle. Hyman Drinkard gets 2. That's it. Shut down by Dominic Golemi.
Man, I was going to say if Clemens scores a touchdown on this drive, they're going to win this game. And they got turned away again, so it's going to be up to the defense. See if they can find another big stop here against George Ranch offense.
And such a great play call. They had Rafai open.
Yes.
And it was a really on-target pass by Chenier. Maybe led him just a tad too much, but it could have worked, and it's 2nd down and 8. Joseph Wilson in motion. They give it to him on the jet sweep, a little shovel pass. Get that guy down on the ground. He's got it all the way out to the 23. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 when we snap it again.
Judging by that 4th down play call, twice going for it on 4th down, the defense is blitzing. That tells me Coach Darnell and his coaches, they came here to win this game. They're not just hanging around hoping to keep it close, keep it respected. I mean, they came here to win this game, and they're coaching hard and aggressively.
All right. Thank you, Les Clary, for your information. 3rd down and 1 for George Ranch. High snap. Murphy has it. Hit in the backfield. Rafai's got him short of the 1st down. They'll have a 4th down and 1 coming at their own 24. I don't think they're going to have the chutzpah to go for it.
Yeah.
They're sending on the punting unit.
Now just watch the fake. Just watch the fake. Didn't George Ranch fake it against Bush? Or am I misremembering?
I believe you're right. I believe they did.
Just something to keep an eye on because it is a pretty short yardage game. But I just love watching Andrew Bohovich, the senior free safety, just put his hands up and celebrate that 3rd down stop there.
Now Patrick Smith is on the field, but he's not backing up to where
Coach Darnell thinks the same as we are. He's just playing defense.
Yeah. It's a good snap. And Tim Fisher punts it away, and nobody is back there to return it. So it's going to roll a long way. Gets inside the 30, down to the 25, and right there.
Okay, so the reason he did that was because of what we were saying. He basically was saying, look, we're going to make sure that you don't fake it. We're going to make you kick it. That's something Coach Sniffen always did too. And Darnell and I both come from the Sniffen tree. I don't personally agree with that philosophy. I just hate it because when you don't have somebody back there, you get these long bounces, like what just happened right there. And especially when your offense is struggling. I can understand if your offense is going up and down the field. Yeah, maybe then. But that's just – I typically never disagree with Coach Darnell. And he is a much better coach than I. But that is just one thing that I don't typically like that strategy personally. So it cost them some yardage, but hey, the main thing, it worked. It accomplished the mission. They got the ball back for sure.
51-yard punt by Fisher. Rangers with the 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. A little option pitch to Morellis. Gets outside the numbers and runs to the 26. 6-yard pickup. Correction. No, it's actually just a 1-yard pickup.
You know what? Roger, you were so right. That play-action play on 4th down was so well designed and executed. Rafai came open, and they just could not quite connect. But I mean, I'm just so impressed. I think we're going to see Chenier hit a long strike at some point tonight.
There's another receiver that I'm kind of intrigued by simply because of his great height. And now on 2nd and 9, Chenier throws the deep ball, looking for Marcus Darnell just beyond his outreached fingers.
Do you remember, were you here, it was when Coach Knowles was still the coach, was his name, what was the name of that tall 6'6" quarterback they had? I think he went on to play football at like Hawaii.
Oh, I wish this was a multiple choice question because then I would get it, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to come up with it.
I may think of it later, but and he had a tall receiver too.
Yeah.
And these two guys were just an incredible connection. And Clements was really, even though they were having a rough season, they were lighting up the passing yardage. It kind of feels like that a little bit. Like Chenier is taking shots to his guys, Patrick Smith and Marcus Darnell.
There's a little chain that might help me figure it out. 3rd down and 9, play fake. Chenier stands strong, throws late, over the middle, incomplete, intended for Patrick Smith. There were a lot of white George Ranch jerseys, and I believe this is the first possession that Clements has had where they went 3 and out. Am I right?
I think so. I agree. And that's the danger of getting a little bit pass happy. Sometimes you can have a really quick three plays and out drive, like what has happened right there.
Timothy Kroon will punt the football away for Clements. And I believe it's Lyle Link who is snapping it to him. It's a little bit high, but Kroon gets it away. It's an end-over-end kick, literally. And Joseph Wilson just watches this thing roll, and we're going to have an exchange of 2 really good punts. It goes all the way to the 19-yard line. So let me do some quick math here, Kovo. 24 plus 31. What's that? 55.
Wow. And I got the receiver was named Luke Mayock.
That's right.
That rings the bell. I'm trying to
and I remember it wasn't Luke Mayock's dad was dating Jax Bigger's mom. And Jax Biggers was what a great player at Ridge Point, baseball and football.
That's right.
1st and 10 at the 19 for George Ranch. Wilson in motion behind the quarterback Murphy. He swings it out there to him, and he's hit hard as he gets across the 20. It's a gain of 3, maybe 4, and the Rangers fans love that big hit by Bryce Matthews.
The Rangers, they are pumped up tonight. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And did you know that Mr. Luke Mayock, his father is a baseball scout, correct? A pro baseball scout?
I think that's correct.
Pretty cool occupation.
And by the way, Jax Biggers is in the Texas Rangers minor league system, and he's the only Texas Ranger. If he gets up to the major league level, I think he'll be the only Texas Ranger I could possibly root for. I have to have a reason, a Fort Bend-centric reason. Murphy drops back. Here comes the rush. He's grabbed and brought down from behind. Is that Rafai or McGinnis? It's hard to tell them apart. It's Matt McGinnis. 3rd down and 8 coming for George Ranch, and that Ranger defense has played very solidly. I won't say they're dominating, but they are playing very solid football.
Yeah, it's just bugging me. Maybe at halftime we'll figure out the name. At least we figured out the receiver, but I'm trying to remember that quarterback that Clements had. But anyhow, now they got Gunnar Chenier, and he's slinging it tonight. 3rd
down and 8. Drinkard moves out to the right. They throw it back to him, and it's a live ball. It is a live ball, and he goes out of bounds. Hyman Drinkard picks it up at the 10-yard line and walks out of bounds, and they better spot it there because that was not even anywhere close to a sideways or forward pass.
Give the credit to Ferris Rafai. He was on a blitz where you could tell that in his blitz path he's supposed to cover the back. They swung Drinkard out, so Ferris Rafai aborted his blitz and went into coverage, and him peeling off into coverage is what caused that errant throw. I think the quarterback thought that the running back would be wide open, and he saw Rafai coming out there, and that led to the bad throw.
Tim Fisher standing in his end zone on 4th and forever at the 11-yard line. Patrick Smith deep to receive it. Fisher gets it in the air. It's a wobbly spiral. Lands at the 40, bounces a couple of times, and Patrick Smith won't have a chance to pick it up. And it'll go all the way to the 39 of Clements, where the Longhorns kill it. What's going on?
Just the coaches are so fired up. One of them that can jump a lot higher than Coach Francis just did a chest bump. Younger guy.
By the way, we got to where there's a minute and a half left in the first half before I tell everybody to be with us at halftime, because we're going to interview former Astros manager Bo Porter. And you might be surprised to hear just how active he is in baseball. You know, he kind of, when the Astros let him go as field manager, he kind of got a promotion because he serves on boards where he's talking to every GM in the majors as well as the commissioner. All right, here we go. 1st and 10, Chenier dropping back, gets it out of his hand, and it's incomplete. A dangerous pass. Patrick Smith was coming from the far side to the near side, trying to catch a screen pass, and I think next time Chenier needs to throw that more into the dirt.
Yeah, I think they're starting to catch on, on those screens. They have been explosive early, but the separation is becoming less and less and less.
Morellis still the main running back for the Rangers. No score, late first half. Chenier drops back. Now he throws it deep. Patrick Smith is open. He's got it on the run. Patrick Smith, touchdown, Rangers! Touchdown, Rangers! And it comes 61 yards.
Did I not call it? I just said I got a feeling we're going to see Chenier with a deep touchdown strike. There it is.
As Phil Rizzuto of the Yankees would say, the kid's got an arm. And
yes,
he threw it out there, and it wasn't a Schaub job. Patrick Smith didn't have to wait for it. He just kept on running under it. And the Rangers have finally cracked the scoreboard with 1:10 to go in the first half, and Allison Wang is going to try the extra point. Gunnar Chenier is the holder. Good snap and hold, kick in the air, a flag flies, as it goes up over the uprights. That was one of the best kicks she's made all year.
Now,
I hope it counts.
If it's offsides, go for it.
Okay.
And Coach Darnell may be the kind of guy to do it. Oh, it's on the kick.
Okay, well, Allison got a good enough foot into that first kick. If she kicks this next one after the 5-yard penalty, if she kicks it the same way, it'll get there. She says she's ready. Chenier calls for the snap. It's low. She does get it in the air, and it's good.
It's all false start, though.
False start again.
I saw the left up back move.
Oh, my goodness. And okay. All right. I think
got to make a decision.
It might be time for Coach Darnell to think we need to send Lyle Link out there because this is now a 30-yard field goal. That's the task. The difficulty is it's like a 30-yard field goal to get this conversion kick.
Come on, Allison.
Her first two looked really good. And this one is blocked. So the Rangers come away with 6 points, not 7, because of what happened.
Somebody said something to Allison Wang, and she went down and chased him down. She's talking to the official now. She's pointing out the player. She's identifying him by number. That's what I love. Love that. Just the wherewithal to go straight to the official, give the number of the infraction.
And I hope she cursed when she was talking to the official. That SOB did whatever, you know. I hope she did.
She's upset.
All right, well, it's 6-0 Rangers with 1:10 to go in the half. And, you know, maybe that you notice the aggressiveness of the defensive play calling by Clements. Maybe they should keep being aggressive with 1:10 left. They might steal a turnover, steal the football, steal a taco, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, man, she made the extra point, and you get back-to-back successive. You never see that, back-to-back false starts.
Those were beautiful kicks, both of them, the first two. And the third one, I think you start thinking about how far away you are, and she changes her leg swing angle, and you know you try for a lower trajectory so it'll travel farther horizontally. Timothy Kroon kicking off, comes down at the 5-yard line. Joseph Wilson right up the middle. Look out, we got some running room for George Ranch. They get out to the 40, and that's it. And I misidentified the kick returner. It's actually Jaden Shelton, and with 1 minute exactly to go in the first half, George Ranch, at their own 41, can throw the ball down the field a little bit. They don't have to worry about being backed up.
Wow. There's only 1 minute left to go in the half. What a great try by Clements to eat up all that clock. But that was a very physical kickoff return. I saw 2 pancakes. So George Ranch, a lot of physicality there. But, man, I'm just so impressed with Allison Wang. I love her grit that she's not going to let somebody talk to her and degrade her, and she went right back at it. I loved it. I just loved it.
That away, Allison. First down and 10, dropping back as Murphy steps up, throws deep over the middle, and nobody there. Well, somebody not that far away, but it was just significantly overthrown. Bryce Matthews on the defense, and running out there was Caleb Kaiser.
Well overthrown. You might need like Justin Jefferson of the Vikings to go out and get that one.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
By the way, I wish you could have been with me for a recent Marshall game where they had a DB make 3 picks, 2 for pick sixes. Second down and 10, fake handoff. Quick throw to the near sideline. It's just going to be a short gain, maybe about 5 yards to Gregor Jones. Gregor, the overlander, advances it to 45-yard line. And now we're down to 44 seconds. It was A.J. Halsey on homecoming night, got 3 picks, 2 pick sixes. Hyman Drinkard up the middle. He's going to have a first down plus a couple more yards, so a gain of 8. And that does move the sticks, but they're still a long way from field goal range.
Great block by number 60, Jaden Young. He really cleared the hole right there.
George Ranch playing quickly, clock running now, under 30 seconds to go. Murphy fakes the handoff, throws it in the flat near the number, incomplete, intended for Gregor Jones.
I don't understand the rationale, Roger. There's only 24 seconds left to go, and you're just throwing bubble screens. I don't know. I think they should press the ball, push the ball down the
so
field
you're saying if you're going to throw it, you might as well throw it deep. And in this situation, if you get it picked off, down inside the 20, so what? That doesn't really mean anything. As long as you can find the interceptor and tackle him before he takes it all the way back. From the 49, pumping short is Murphy, throwing sideline. Patrick Smith intercepted it. He's going to go 40. He's going to go far sideline. 40. He's going to go. Patrick Smith, the pick six in the final minute of the half. Patrick Smith, and he's running all the way through the end zone, and there's a celebration. And there's a flag. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's going to be on the return.
On the return, what happened? There was no need to even block for him. He was out in front of everybody.
Totally.
Oh.
You heard me screaming. As soon as he caught it, I was like, he's going to go, because there was nobody there. Coach Darnell's not going to want to hear this explanation, most likely here.
Okay.
Coach Darnell just went down to his knees. Just put his hands on his knees. He's frustrated.
Okay, I'm going to turn this up when the ref starts talking.
That's tough.
Well, I know you really want to make sure Patrick Smith scores if you're one of the other Rangers, but there's just no need to hold anybody. There's no need to block anybody. He's just setting sail down the sideline. And now with the penalty yardage, they're back at their 29 with 9 seconds to go, and they're in victory formation. So that's how the half is going to end. Oh, it's been a long time since I have been so excited about a football play that did not come to fruition.
I want to say something about that. So I don't typically identify offenders, but I noticed something a little bit different here. The offender was actually their best player, perhaps, or in the front. It was Ferris Rafai. And Coach Darnell just completely undressed him on the sideline, as he well should. And the only reason I talk about it is Ferris Rafai did not pout. Yeah, there go the coaches. They're frustrated because that goes Coach Haddock, the defensive coordinator. That was his defense getting a touchdown. But Ferris Rafai didn't pout about it. He didn't take his helmet off and go sit on the bench. And he kept his helmet on, and then he sprinted off the field. You know what I'm saying? And Coach Darnell, just after he just got done chewing him out, they went over, Coach Darnell slapped him on the butt, and they both sprinted into the locker room. That's a kid that made a mistake, but he's taking coaching. I can guarantee you Ferris Rafai is going to play his best second half football you've ever seen.
James Kovaleski's eyes are tearing up.
Yeah, Roger, I'm just so moved by the effort they're giving.
That is a beautiful thing. All right. I'll never forget this moment, James, because, we got to have passion to do this and do this right, and you got passion for it.
I love it, man.
I'm glad you're here. I'm really lucky that you are. We'll be right back.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavenall with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Welcome to halftime on VypeFortBend.com. Our halftime score is 6-0 Clements over George Ranch. And we like to bring you great halftime guests, and We think we got one for sure. Bo Porter, the former Houston Astros manager, who just a little bit south of Hall Stadium, just past Savannah Parkway in Brazoria County, has a fabulous baseball facility where kids of all ages are grooming themselves to play the great game of baseball. Bo, great to talk to you.
Well, I tell you, it's an honor and pleasure to be here and to sit down to have this conversation. I thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, I know that people are going to say, oh yeah, he was the Astros manager before A.J. Hinch, and that is true. But there's so much more to what you do. You're involved in so many things. You're on boards of people who are very high up in professional baseball. They're seeking your opinion about things. We could talk about it a long time, but what's kind of about a minute's worth of the things that you do besides running that facility where you're training young athletes?
Well, I'm still involved in Major League Baseball. I work for the Commissioner's Office. I'm the Director of Coaching Development, which allows me to stay connected to the game for one, but also to lend my experience and wisdom to the next generation of coaches. We look at the activations that we've been able to start over the last year or so, the MLB Draft League, the MLB Combines. I've had a hand in all of those activations, just wanting to spread the game of baseball throughout the country and really help our organizations with the onboarding of the talent that's coming into our game.
So I guess it's safe to say there's not a GM in the major leagues that you don't know. Is that pretty accurate?
I'm pretty connected, and I follow the game obviously with great interest. When you spend 29 years in the game, it's something that you always want to make sure that you make yourself available to the people that you have developed relationships with. I have organizations that call and just seek my opinion about different things, and it was good for me moving into the commissioner's office because now I'm not affiliated with one particular team. It actually gives me an opportunity to actually communicate with all the teams.
Well, one of the things that you told me before we started doing this interview is that you love Houston. And I'm the same way. I'm a sucker for people that come here and stay here and say how much they love it, because the greater Houston area is not just where I was born and where I've spent most of my life. It's who I am. I kind of take it personally when our teams lose and things like that. I'm really into it, have a lot of community pride. I know a lot of people feel the same way, and you are one of them. Why?
Well, this is where I decided to make my home. I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, and after one off season of snow and sleet and just awful weather in the Northeast, I decided to move here to Houston full time, and it was arguably one of the best decisions I ever made. It gave me an opportunity to work out outdoors full time in the off season before I got ready to head to spring training. And it's the place where I called home. Even though I coached and managed, for 18, 19 years elsewhere, it didn't matter. Houston was always my home base.
That sounds kind of familiar, because one of the other famous sports figures that didn't get born in Houston, but he got here as quick as he could, Akeem Olajuwon, he was on a recruiting trip in St. John's. In New York. And he was on a payphone outside the airport when the wind is howling and it's sideways, freezing rain. It was awful. And he called someone at the University of Houston and said, "What's the temperature there?" And he said, the person on the other end said, 75 degrees. And he said, "I'll be on the next plane." And the rest is history. Akeem Olajuwon comes to Houston, loves the weather, loves everything about it, becomes a Cougar and a Rocket, and made us so proud. So that's another great story. There are a lot of those.
Yes, so thank God for bad weather on the East Coast.
Yeah, it can happen. It's amazing how the weather determines so many things, like how many people come to your funeral and stuff like that. So we're talking with Bo Porter, the former Astros manager, and we're going to take a break and come back and talk about what it was like to be with the Astros and leading the organization when the success had not quite come yet. The roots had gone down and it was coming, but not a lot of people knew about it. More with Bo Porter on VypeFortBend.com. We'll be back on our halftime show in just a moment.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Welcome back to our halftime show, and our guest is Bo Porter. He used to be the Astros manager before A.J. Hinch took over. His final season with the Astros was in 2014. I went to a lot of those Astros games with my son, who's now 19, and it didn't matter that the team was not in first place. We loved our team. And so what is the thing that makes you proud? People might say, wait a minute, they didn't have winning seasons. But I know you're proud of what you accomplished when you were leading the organization in the dugout.
Yes, I think anytime you're hired to do a job, the expectation of the ball club, kind of hinges on where the organization is at. And when you look at, my tenure with the Houston Astros, the organization, was going through a complete rebuild. And when you go through a rebuild, one, it's a tear down, and you're not going to invest in the talent on the field, because at that time you're trying to evaluate players to figure out who's going to actually be around when we are ready to put a championship team on the field. But when you look at the body of work, to me, the success can be found in, are you leaving the organization better than it was when you arrived? And that's the one thing that I can hang my hat on. Our staff did a tremendous job of laying the foundation of what it takes to be a champion. And I think when you look at the team today, the fruits of that labor is the Jose Altuves, the Marwin Gonzalez, the Carlos Correas, the George Springers, the Dallas Keikos, the Jason Castros, all of those guys that were there during those lean years. That development actually set the stage for what could be, arguably called the team of the decade.
Well, Bo, I consider myself a layman. I broadcast sports. I talk to as many people as I can that I think are very wise and know a lot, so I can at least talk intelligently about the various sports that we cover on VypeFortBend.com. But this is just my opinion. The state that the Astros were in, it didn't matter how great the manager was, the Hall of Fame manager, anyone that you would like to name. I just don't think they could have turned the Astros into a champion at that point with what they had as far as personnel at the major league level. Do you agree with that?
Well, it's very difficult because when you look at Major League Baseball, it's a talent-driven league. You can look at the two teams that's in the World Series right now. They're in the World Series because they have talented baseball players. And when you look at talent base and you look at organizations every offseason, they make a decision on where they're at as an organization. Are we in a window? When I mean a window, a championship window, or are we behind the pack and need to make good financial decisions as to how we allocate our resources? So I would say, like, now that I've actually managed, I've moved into the front office, I've had experience with the scouting department, I've had experience with player development, I've had experience broadcasting. So all of the things that I've been able to do since managing the Astros actually has made me more well-rounded as it relates to the game itself, working with the commissioner's office. So looking through the lens that I look through now, I completely understand why we had to do what we had to do when I was managing the Astros. But the competitive side of anybody that's in that position, you want to win. And you want to have every opportunity to win. But when you look at the organization and where it was at, it just wasn't that time. So I have to basically accept that. But it did not stop me from showing up to the park each and every day and giving every player that was in that clubhouse 100% each and every day.
And I don't know if it was Mr. Crane who delivered the news or it might have been Jeff Luhnow, but when you found out you weren't going to continue as the Astros manager, did it come as a surprise? Did you think you might get a chance to continue?
Well, in this job, what you know for sure is that as a major league manager, you're only being hired to be fired. It's the nature of the business, and there was some tension within the organization. I felt like we were going to be able to move beyond it. The decision was made not to move beyond it, and I hold my head up high to the things in which we were able to accomplish and things that took place, the players and how they developed. And to this day, Jeff and Jim Crane, we're cordial to each other. I don't harbor any bad feelings. I thank them for the opportunity that they gave me to manage Major League Baseball. There's only 30 Major League teams, and to be able to sit here and be, one of the people that can hold your hand up and say, I managed a Major League Baseball team, that's something to be proud of.
Well, I'm just kind of thinking aloud here. I mean, I hope the Astros win, and, they're in the midst of the World Series as we speak. So if the great Dusty Baker, someone everyone loves and admires, is able to get that one thing that he has not accomplished, he's accomplished everything else as a baseball manager. If he can make the Astros world champions, he's at age 72. He might be ready to say, I think I've done this long enough. I'm just thinking it would be wonderful if you at least got a shot to talk about, what you could do for the Astros and maybe convince Mr. Crane and Mr. Click that you could be in the dugout again and take them to another World Series.
Well, I would cherish that opportunity if it came along. I want to touch on a couple things that you said. One, I want to touch on Dusty Baker, and because he's a mentor of mine and has played a major role in my development, I want nothing more than for Dusty Baker to get his chip. But I will say this, Dusty Baker is a Hall of Famer. Whether he gets the chip or not, he's a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I don't even think Dusty Baker needed this run that he's had with the Astros to be a Hall of Famer. I thought he was a Hall of Famer after he left the Washington Nationals. So when you look at his body of work and what he's been able to do in the game, I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. And to your other question about my interest level, if the job was to come open, I'll say this. What I was able to prove my first time managing with the Astros was that I can take a team that's in transition and a rebuild, and I can lay a foundation that can lead that team toward a championship, even though I didn't get an opportunity to actually see it all the way through. I have all the confidence in my world and all the confidence in the world to actually take a team that's in a rebuild, and I know that I can lay a foundation that will be one that can lead that team to a championship. I have not had the opportunity to take a team that is expected to win and to see what I can do with a roster that's expected to win. But that is a challenge that I look forward to one day.
I'd be very happy to see you get that chance. Now, before we let you go, I want you to talk about Bo Porter's Future All-Stars Baseball Development Academy, this facility on Highway 6, south of Hall Stadium. You get into Brazoria County. It's just past Savannah Parkway. It was not built specially for you, but it seems like an ideal place. What goes on at that academy?
Well, we're developing young men. I think that the biggest thing I can say about our academy is that it's more than baseball. Baseball is just a hook. I tell all of our parents, all of our kids, that baseball is the common denominator that brings us all together. But what we are really doing is we're preparing kids for the biggest game they will ever play in their life, which is the game of life. And when they walk through the door, I tell them, my biggest concern is that you are a man when you walk out the door. So when you look at the number of kids in which we're able to impact, it's been phenomenal since opening in April. Our kids are developing. They have completely bought into the holistic approach in which we go about development. It's strength and conditioning, it's baseball fundamentals, I tell all of our kids all the time, baseball is a skilled repetition sport, and it's great for us because we have excellent coaches. We run, it's like a major league spring training each and every last one of their practices. So they are actually getting, the tutelage that it takes to harness all of their skills. So I'm just excited about the future of all of these kids and just looking forward to how baseball is going to be able to actually help impact them as they move forward in life.
What you just said is so beautiful, and it's the reason that when I was about 3 feet tall, I worshiped high school athletes, and I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be one. I enjoyed being one. I enjoyed having sons who played in high school athletics. So thank you for everything you're doing to mold young men and young women into great athletes, but not just great athletes, well-rounded individuals who have that spiritual guidance. They have integrity, morality. There's not too much better in this world these days than active dads who are leading kids and helping them be better and be better than they thought they could be.
Yes, it's a great opportunity to pay your blessings forward. I sat down one day and, this is something that has always been a passion of mine, and I was just thinking about all of my experiences and asked myself the question, like, what are you going to do with all of this experience? What are you going to do with the resources and the network that you have? And it just made all the sense in the world to pour it back into generations to come.
All right. Bo Porter, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks for being with us, and hope that you will become a fan of VypeFortBend.com. We try to shine the spotlight on all these kids who are striving and representing their school and their community so well.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm already a fan of Vype.
That sounds great. We'll be back with more on VypeFortBend.com right after this break.
When everything works together, it's a beautiful thing. With Xfinity, you get Wi-Fi faster than a gig to power a house full of devices, so your home becomes a symphony of activity. We start with Dad's streaming cooking videos in the kitchen. Add a little gaming in the basement. Gorgeous. Now let's bring in some working from the couch. And finally, the sweet melody of Grandpa streaming his nature shows. Can your internet do that? And there goes Grandpa.
Power a house full of connected devices. Learn more about Wi-Fi speed faster than a gig and other fast speed options. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 12/31/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect 50 megabits per second Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig Internet and Xfi gateway. Actual speeds vary.
Back here at Hall Stadium, and it's halftime, a little less than 4 minutes away before we resume this one. You may notice as you hear in the background, the sound it doesn't sound like a band playing. Well, it's recorded music because so many of the band students are busy with UIL competitions that they are not here. So you'd have the cheerleaders who are here, but I guess there's a dance team seated in the stands for George Ranch. I'm not sure if Clements, yeah, they have their dance team too, but they had to go out there and dance to the recorded music. Yep. But that's okay. And I guess there's just a lot to do,
Yeah, and Roger, I'm sorry I got a little choked up at the end of the half there.
You don't need to be sorry. That's good stuff, James.
For me, and I know I always try to remain neutral, except in this kind of unique situation where it's not two Fort Bend teams. So I think at least I allow myself to be a little bit more of a homer. Coach Darnell is a guy I've coached with my entire coaching career. He was the offensive coordinator at Rich Point when I was the defensive coordinator. Derek Ruthard is the Clements offensive coordinator. He's my best friend. He was the best man at my wedding. Coach Darnell was present at my wedding. I mean, I just have a lot invested in the Clements Rangers personally, and so I kind of let that bleed through a little bit. And I know how hard these coaches and players have worked over these past 5 years. I mean, we've broadcast games they've lost like 82-6.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I remember an 86-20 game where Travis beat them.
You know what I mean? Yeah, games like that, and just to see them doing that. And then conversely, in that first half, just Ferris Rafai has impressed me so much. He just reminds me of that just rugged inside linebacker that I used to love coaching. And to see that he was the one that committed the penalty was honestly heartbreaking. But just his reaction to it, that he allowed, Coach Darnell let him have it, and the player took it, and they just both hustled into the locker room. That right there tells me Coach Darnell has done what he set out to do. He has set up a culture where the coaches and players are all moving in the same direction. They're playing together, and they're in it together. And so, George Ranch is a very, very talented team. They may still come back and win this football game, but it's incredible to me, just the transformation. So if Dina, the athletic director, ever listens to these broadcasts, I can just tell you, rest assured, you have a home run higher in Bobby Darnell leading the Clements Rangers. I mean, it's amazing.
And they really had to persevere for quite some time, and a lot of people might have been wondering, is the increase going to come? Are we going to get the results that we seek? And, no matter how the rest of this year goes for Clements in their first 8 games and the first half of the 9th game, they've just been amazing. But I do have some kind of disappointing news out of high school football, James. I would not have thought this was possible, but today the Willow Ridge Eagles lost to the Madison Marlins, and it wasn't close. It was 30-7, so that eliminates Willow Ridge from playoff competition. I was thinking if they win today, if they had won today, then they would need to play at home against Galena Park next week, and that game would have really been critical for them. So that game is just going to be a matter of playing out the string, unfortunately, because Willow Ridge can't get there. And you might say that, well, they were going to have to take on Crosby anyway. Well, so what? A faint heart never won the fair maiden. You just go and take them on. But Marshall is going to be the only Fort Bend ISD team to represent Fort Bend ISD in Class 5A Division II playoffs, and they are going to play either Nederland or Barbers Hill or Port Neches Groves. It's kind of a muddled mess in the district that they're going to go up against.
And the Astros have made the Braves get a new pitcher to the mound.
Oh!
Well, that's fine. First of all, I don't really want to talk Astros. I love them with every fiber of my being. But we're going to do this game, and we're not going to give Astros score updates. So as soon as this game's over, then I'm all about the Astros.
That was a great interview with Bo Porter, by the way. I don't really know much. I don't recall. I wasn't into baseball at that time in my period of my life, and kind of gotten back into it now with the resurgence of the Astros. And, I was really impressed with everything he had to say. So, if he wants to put his name in the hat, assuming down the line there's an opening once Dusty, hopefully we can ride him off into the sunset with rings. I was impressed, very impressed with everything he had to say.
Yeah, and I felt kind of affirmed when I said, I just don't think anybody, no matter who the manager was, could have taken the group you had
Absolutely.
And do anything with them.
Look at Phil Jackson when he went to the Knicks.
Yeah.
It's kind of like he wins everywhere he is, Lakers, Bulls, and then didn't work. So.
All right, so, hey, good news, everybody. First of all, Clements is up 6-0. We wish it was more, but it's 6-0. And the Rangers, get the football first to start the third quarter, and they'll be moving from right to left. They will defend the south goal at Hall Stadium. Anticipation kind of rippling throughout the stands as David Michel, the left footer, kicks for George Ranch. And we'll see if the Rangers can get a good return. It's kind of a low kick. Avery Clark watches it go down to the 5. He picked it up. He gets across the 10, the 15, 25, still going across the 40. He stepped out of bounds. Don't get too excited like I got too excited on the Patrick Smith pick 6 that was called back on a penalty. But I was thinking Avery Clark had made a poor decision. I thought the ball might go out of bounds, and he picked it up. And, well, he got what he would have on a touchback.
Yeah.
Or +1.
Man, he was streaking down that sideline, though. It's too bad he stepped out. But I love seeing number 3, Andrew Bohovich. He went up and was rousing the crowd to their feet. So just the whole energy on the whole Clements sideline is just really awesome right now.
So from the 26-yard line, it's 1st and 10 for the Rangers. J.R. Morellis over the left side. Gets hit about 2 yards down the field, keeps going. He's got 12 yards and they're still dragging tacklers, and it ends up being a 14-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. J.R. Morellis, one of those assistant coaches, is just shaking him like...
That's Garrett Oakley, the assistant baseball coach.
Yes, that's right. That is true.
Yeah. Garrett Oakley and I went to middle school together, Sugar Land Middle School. He's the same age as me. Guy's in great shape, does triathlons. Yeah, you can see it there. He's still a good athlete.
And not only that, when you see a play like that, you just, even though it's the first play of the third quarter, you start thinking, we're going to win. You know, it was one of those plays.
Agreed.
You got to feed the little dog again. J.R. Morellis lined up behind Gunnar Chenier, and they give it to him. There he goes, off the left side, breaking a tackle across the 50, toward the middle of the field, taking on a tackler, and gets to the 44 before they finally pull him down. He is feeling it right now, and the much larger Jeffrey Ugochukwu had to struggle hard to get him down.
I think they're all starting to feel it. And like I said, I talked about it, Roger, I think I came into this, honestly speaking, thinking it'd be an uphill battle for Clements to win it. And you assured me, hey, Kobo, the difference is not that big as you think. Clements is just really impressed tonight.
Fake to Morellis, throw to Patrick Smith, left flat, outside the numbers, dodges 2 tacklers and gets to the 35. And they are executing perfectly on this first drive. 3 plays have taken them all the way from their own 26 to the 35 of George Ranch.
What an incredible opening drive. I mean, that they have just gotten everything that they've wanted so far. So if you're a George Ranch fan tuning in, I mean, they definitely need to change the flow of the game right now because it's trending Clements' way.
Chenier throws to Patrick Smith in the near side flat again. Gets a good gain down to the 27. That's 8 more yards. And it's a new first down. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
Yeah, like I mentioned, Coach Ruthart is the offensive coordinator, Derek Ruthart. We played college football together at Austin College. I mean, he's calling a great game. Don't you feel, I'm biased, but don't you feel like they are mixing in the run and the pass just
they really are.
Well?
There's nothing predictable about what they're doing. Pistol formation. Here's Morellis again. Hits the line hard, and he only gets about a yard, and they push him back. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 21. They're in the middle of it for George Ranch, Connor Tallis.
Yeah, and all these little quick slip screens out there to Patrick Smith. It's because George Ranch has been given what we call cushion. They're kind of playing off a little bit, respecting Smith's speed, and they need to start creeping up because if you do that, they're going to keep running those little quick screens. Now they're up in Smith's face.
And these Rangers have kept the ball for over 2 minutes. They've advanced the ball to the 26-yard line, make it the 25 of George Ranch on 2nd and 9. Chenier wants to throw. Near sideline, Smith got it inside the 5! And he's down at the 1-yard line. Beautiful leaping catch by Patrick Smith.
You know what he does so well, Roger? He literally, that term like high point or go get the ball, he goes and gets it. He does not allow the ball to come to him. Every catch he's made, he attacks the ball and comes towards it and snags it.
Attack, attack, attack. So this is the 5th play of the drive. And here come the Rangers. Morellis ran into his own man who was going in motion from left to right. It is a bad break, but I think they can overcome it. That's just 2nd down and goal, and they'll spot the ball at the 2-yard line. What's going on?
They're going the heavy.
Going heavy.
When they sent in the heavy group, Ferris Rafai, Kazmarovich, it was pretty cool. The sideline erupted. It's like the whole team is like, yeah. Whenever they're putting in this heavy package, they know they're gonna go play physical Clements football.
All right. I guess the only thing that bothers me about that is Morellis has done such a good job helping him advance down the field, but he's not going to get to score the touchdown. He's on the sideline. Give to Avery Clark, hits the left side, and George Ranch is there with the defense. Matthew Lambert stood him up. Help arrived soon. So now we have a developing situation. It's 3rd down and goal, and the new line of scrimmage is going to be the 3.
Man, it's almost like you got to think about kicking it as much as you don't want to, because as good as your defense is playing, a 9-point lead, that's a 2-score game. So think about it. But if I know Coach Darnell, he's going to say we got to punch this in. Again, and this is not to question my friend Coach Ruthart, but I like if you get 1st and goal that close, start sneaking. You know, I'm a firm believer in that. And see, this is what happens. You don't sneak it. You get these plays that get tackled for a short loss. Now you've gone nowhere, and it's third down.
The ball's on the left hash. And now we have a timeout called by George Ranch, or is it Clements? It doesn't matter. We're going to take a timeout and be back on VypeFortBend.com. 6-0 Clements, early third.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
You know, it'd be worth it.
All right, so what do they come up with during the timeout? They still have the heavy package in there. And it's a direct snap to Patrick Smith, and he's hit deep in the backfield, but he gets away. No. Now he's going to try and, no.
Might be a horse collar, though.
It might be a horse collar tackle, and that might bail the Rangers out.
Face mask. They're saying face mask. Yep.
Okay, the play was horrible. It just, George Ranch was all over it like ugly on an ape. And so it's a good thing for the Rangers. You know, they got a bad break on the Patrick Smith pick 6 that didn't count. And now George Ranch is giving the Rangers new life.
So that'll go half the distance to the goal, and if it's a personal foul, it's an automatic first down, right?
Yes, and the referee's mic didn't come on when we needed it to, but we could catch the end of it and the hand signal.
Yeah.
It was indeed, as you said, a face mask. The ball is now spotted just inside the 2. It's an automatic first down on the personal foul. First and goal from inside the 2.
And I joked about it at the break. I want to show that I can be critical of the Clements Rangers and my friends, Coach Darnell, Coach Ruthard. I think they should sneak it, in my opinion. You got first and goal down here, just sneak it.
But it's a shotgun snap. No sneak on this play. There goes Morellis up the middle. Give it to the little guy. Is he in the end zone?
Touchdown!
Yes, he is. 2-yard touchdown run, J.R. Morellis.
They're going to go for 2.
And they will keep the offense on the field because they had 2 pre-snap penalties that backed it up when Allison Wang actually followed through and kicked and made it the first 2 times, but neither one of them counted. And then on the third try, what would have been the equivalent as far as the distance of the kick, a 30-yard field goal, she got it blocked. Not her fault. So now they're going to have to go for 2, and they try to get it to 14 points. Gunnar Chenier in the spread, rolling to the right. Here comes the rush. Now he's moving over to the left and throws late. It's Patrick Smith. The 2-pointer is good. Rangers lead 14-0. Patrick Smith, realizing his quarterback couldn't find anything on the right side of the field, just kind of bent it back to the left side, and he came open, and Chenier found him. And with 6:56 to go in the third quarter, the Rangers are leading George Ranch 14-0.
And I watched Coach Darnell. He didn't stand there celebrating. He was celebrating as he was sprinting towards the kickoff team. I love that.
Yeah.
He's focused on the next play. He's getting his kickoff team fired up. I mean, golly, that is good coaching. It's just awesome to see. And, man, Patrick Smith, it's kind of like if you've been watching the NFL, like Cooper Kupp, how Matthew Stafford is feeding him like 15 balls a game. Like, Chenier is looking for Patrick Smith all the time, and it's just amazing how often Patrick Smith's coming open.
Yeah, and what a playmaker he is, even when the defense knows that he's going to be the guy that they're likely to go to. Timothy Kroon, he's been bombing kickoffs into the end zone throughout the year, but I think something about this time of year, it's kind of difficult to get the same distance as the air starts to cool off, but I would like to see him start getting those touchbacks. Kroon bangs the football, but this will be a returnable kick. And it's fumbled. The ball is on the floor, but George Ranch picks it up and move it around the numbers on the far side, just short of the 30. The ball came down to Jaden Shelton, and he dropped it, but lucky for George Ranch, it bounced back up where he could pick it up and run.
One kind of cool thing, you said Lyle Link is their kind of long-distance kicker.
Yeah.
He's on the kickoff team. Number 82, Lyle Link. He's always the first guy to get down there. I've never seen that.
82,
your
good man.
kicking specialist is the first guy down on kickoff. That's why this Clements team is just this incredible.
Well, Timothy Kroon kicks off. Lyle Link does some of the kicking duties.
No, I'm saying
So
he's a kickoff coverage guy.
That's okay, yeah.
I've never seen that before, a kicker doing that.
There goes Hyman Drinkard. Look out, he's loose. And he's got 2 men to beat. He's going down the far sideline, and Hyman Drinkard is going to take it to the house.
No flags.
It's a 73-yard run for Hyman Drinkard, and for the one time tonight, the Rangers kind of, I won't say fell asleep, but they just didn't have proper attention paid to Hyman Drinkard, and he's a great running back, and so he took off, and that cuts the lead almost in half. If they kick the extra point, it will be cut in half.
And you had to expect that. As great as you're feeling as a Rangers fan going up 2 scores, I mean, there's a reason George Ranch has had the run of success that they've had. I mean, they're a very good football team. So I was expecting an answer. I wasn't expecting it in one play, but I did think an answer was coming.
David Michel. Actually, I think it's someone else. It is someone else. It's Edwin Avalos. He adds the extra point. And at 6:29 to go in quarter number 3, 14-7, Clements over George Ranch. We'll be back.
When everything works together, it's a beautiful thing. With Xfinity, you get Wi-Fi faster than a gig to power a house full of devices, so your home becomes a symphony of activity. We start with Dad's streaming cooking videos in the kitchen. Add a little gaming in the basement. Gorgeous. Now let's bring in some working from the couch. And finally, the sweet melody of Grandpa streaming his nature shows. Can your internet do that? And there goes Grandpa.
Power a house full of connected devices. Learn more about Wi-Fi speed faster than a gig and other fast speed options. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with the 1-year agreement. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 12/31/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect 50 megabits per second Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig Internet and Xfi Gateway. Actual speeds vary.
You know, the Rangers have a player on their kickoff return team, Michael Kazimervis, and his brother David is a walk-on at Stanford, made the team. And that is our Nick's Italian Restaurant family connection. David Kazimervis playing for Stanford, and his brother Michael he's a very capable guy. I hope he gets his hands on the football at some point tonight. Might be able to make a play. All right, here we go with the kickoff from David Michel. From the 18-yard line, it's Avery Clark back to the middle, gets across the 30. He's still going, he gets across the 35. He's gotten his hands on the football twice on kickoff returns, and he's done very well each time, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers from the 38-yard line. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Earlier today, Ridge Point beat the Bush Broncos by a score of 49-21, so Ridge Point, still undefeated in District 26A play, will take on Travis, which has only 1 loss in District 26A. Those 2 schools, by the way, will compete in the big school division bracket, 6A Division 1. Bush has punched a ticket to the playoffs in Class 5A Division 2, and one of these teams will be the 4th team out of the district to qualify for the playoffs. Up the middle, hard charging, J.R. Mireles hits a big wall of bodies and gets a 2-yard pickup.
I got another Nick's family connection for you, Roger.
Go for it.
Still in the Kazimervis family, and I apologize if I mispronounced that, but Deborah Mize, the former head girls basketball coach for Hightower, been very successful, now assistant AD. I believe they are cousins. So, yeah, I saw that on Facebook. So another Nick's family connection there for you.
So they come from good stock. There goes J.R. Mireles hitting the line hard, and No gain. He's pushed back at the 90-yard line, and George Ranch getting fired up after they got that long touchdown run from Drinkard. Jacques Franklin makes the tackle, and in today's world, I guess if there's a teenager who spells his name the way Franklin does, it's Jacquez. It's probably Jacquez Franklin. Or Jacquez. Big play for the Rangers, whose lead is just one score. They lead 14-7 on 3rd and 8. Pumping short is Chenier, throwing it down the near sideline, and it's over the head and out of bounds, intended for Patrick Smith. He was hit as he threw. I didn't see who got him, but it really disrupted his throw.
Yep.
And they kept the clock running for several seconds after an incomplete pass.
Yeah, so that was the double move. Basically, they ran a hitch and go, so they faked a little 5-yard hitch, and then Smith kept going up the sideline, and he had his defender beat again. But like you said, a little pressure came in on Chenier and disrupted that throw.
Here comes Timothy Kroon to punt. And he takes the snap, gets it away. And it's Joseph Wilson who makes the catch on the run. Kind of a risky catch, but he saves his team some yards as he caught it near the 29 and ended up at the 33. I think if he had let that punt hit the ground, it could have rolled all the way inside the 20. And one of the Rangers is down. It was Dominic Golemi in on the tackle. We'll take a break while the trainers attend to him and be back. It's VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business. I flipped the bottle open and made it.
All right, the Rangers defense goes back out there, now protecting a one-score lead. It's 14-7, and we're more than halfway through the third quarter. 4:47 to go. This game is advancing pretty quickly, and we need it to. Cole Murphy, high snap, gives it to Drinkard, runs through the middle, and the Rangers defense is there, and they look kind of mad. Great play by Avery Clark. It was one of those face-up tackles where he just pushed Drinkard back.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go up the middle. Yeah, I think the success will come potentially on the edge. You know, that's where George Ranch is going to want to attack the Clements defense.
Clock running. 4:15 to go in the third quarter on 2nd down and 10. There goes Drinkard, hard through the middle, dodging tacklers, twisting, turning, and he's very close to what he needs for the first down. I think he got it on an 11-yard pickup. He did. 44-yard line, that's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. George Ranch fans, there's one in Greatwood, right there by the entrance to the subdivision. I know a lot of your students live in Greatwood. Go to that First Tire and Automotive. Joseph Wilson on the little shovel pass, running from left to right, or right to left rather. Picks up 5 before he's slammed down by the Rangers. That was Bohovic. Patrick Smith?
Yep, Patrick Smith.
Sorry about that. We don't have cough buttons on our headsets. We had to get the less expensive kind. 2nd down and 4. Drinkard running left. Got the first. No, he didn't get the first down. He got 3 of the 4 that he needed. And that'll set up a 3rd and short.
Big third down.
Yeah, less than a yard. I wonder if the Rangers will play some kind of risk-reward type of defense. They were starting to bring the blitz. They might have jumped offside. Pass down the far sideline.
Oh, no.
The pass is incomplete.
I thought Patrick Smith was going to get that interception. I was saying, oh no, because it's going to be negated by the offside penalty. That was one where, yes, the player did jump, but I kind of think he got back in time, personally, on that one.
It seems like at all levels of football, they're going ahead and enforcing an offsides call. They never really give the defense a chance to jump back. I realize if you make contact with an offensive player, that's another thing. But it is a first down on the penalty. The ball now at the Rangers 41. George Ranch trailing 14-7, 2:35 to go in the third. Murphy hands it off. Drinkard tries the middle again. He gets 2. That's it. Gets to the Ranger 39. And there's a lot of smack talking going on. Andrew Bohovich is engaged in a conversation with Lee Jones.
Yeah, I saw Matt McGinnis get in there first on the tackle, man. So this, you talked about early in the game, him and Rafai are a really nice duo there inside for the Rangers.
Second down and 8. Pistol formation. Murphy takes the snap. Bootlegging to the right, throws, and his pass is caught, but for a short gain as his receiver had to dive for it. That's Andrew Syke. And Syke down immediately with a pickup of 2, so it's 3rd and 6. You know, James, Clements still doesn't have big enough numbers in their football program as far as how many players are out where they can have guys who are just offense and just defense, but they have enough where there are fewer players of that type. And so they don't have the fatigue problem that we've seen them have in seasons past. 3rd and 6. Running to the left and short of the first down. They gave the ball to Jaden Shelton. He only got 2. And it's going to be 4th down and 4. And I think the Longhorns will go.
You probably remember the standout offensive defensive lineman Rashawn Slater. He was a star at Northwestern and then got drafted in the first round by the Los Angeles Chargers this year. And I remember that's a guy that he was going both ways all the time on O-line, D-line, and that's very rare. And just an incredible testament to his ability.
Can the Rangers defense hold and get the football back? Murphy dropping back to pass. Here comes the rush. They set up the screen. Drinkard tackle immediately. Short of the first down.
It's Rafai and McGinnis.
And Ferris Rafai. They've collaborated so well so many times. That may be one of the biggest plays they've made together.
I talked about it. I said, hey, Rafai made a mistake. And there he goes celebrating with Coach Francis. I guarantee you, Ferris Rafai is going to make good on that. I could tell his attitude was great after making that mistake, and I knew he was going to find a way to make a big play. And what bigger play than on 4th down than to sniff out that screen and make the big stop?
I'm getting a little greedy. I was thinking it would have been more fun if he had been able to punch the ball out. Okay, here we go. Rangers have it, leading 14-7. They have it at their 34th. 37 seconds left in the third. And the give to Morellis. He's got running room on the right side. Stumbling over the 45-yard line. Gets near the 50. And that is a pickup of 15 yards. It's a first down. Think of First Tyrant Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttyrantauto.com.
Morellis kind of reminds me of a little bit more diminutive version of Philip Lindsay, the Texans running back. He's a kind of a Mighty Mouse style. He's very built, but just a little smaller in stature. But he just runs downhill, and boy, do his legs keep moving on first contact.
Well, after they reset the chains, the clock started moving again, and the third quarter clock has expired.
I'm going to be home early tonight.
I hope so.
Christine will be happy.
We got this iPad over here, and I don't know how much longer it's going to last.
Look at the difference. The Clements team, as the quarter ends, they are all together celebrating, putting their hands in together. And not to question George Ranch, but they're not together like that. Whereas Clements, the entire team has come circled around Coach Darnell.
It's a beautiful thing on the home sideline. We'll be back.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement,
and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
Fourth quarter, baby. Let's ride. First and 10. There goes J.R. Morales over the left side, trying to push his way through a huge mass of humanity. And I think he got a yard and a half. He finally kind of squirted out of the big scrum of people.
I love how you used that's the catchphrase of the Clements Rangers, "Let's ride," that Coach Darnell brought in years ago. So brilliant placement there. And, 11 minutes, 37 seconds stand between Clements and doing the thing that was unthinkable. And it's been a pleasure to watch, but there's still a long way to go in a very, very game opponent here in the George Ranch Longhorns.
Second down and 8. From their own 49, Chenier throws to the near sideline. Marcus Darnell has it, and he's wrestled out at the 41 of George Ranch. That's just what he needs as a first down, and they're going to move the sticks.
Roger, that right there is what I would describe as on time. That's the result of summer work. The timing there between Marcus Darnell and Gunnar Chenier, the sophomore quarterback, that's just honing your craft with repetition after repetition after repetition. Because Chenier threw that ball before Marcus Darnell came out of his break.
Yeah, and before the injury to Micah Darnell, what you had was, the advantage of 2 guys who had been in their mother's womb together. So, you kind of have that coordination. All right, let's take a quick break and be back. George Ranch has called a timeout.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Correction on 2 things. Number 1, the Rangers did not make the first down. It's 3rd and a foot. And second, it was not a George Ranch timeout. It was for a measurement.
Love it.
And they played James Kovaleski's favorite play, the quarterback sneak. They not only get the first down, but Gunnar Chenier keeps going, and he gets about 7 yards.
And big senior captain left guard Nathan Morris left guard or tackle came out of the pile celebrating. He must have thrown a big block.
I just realized something, James. I haven't been charging our laptop. I got to plug it in here. I can't believe I forgot to do that.
Our fan base is going to kill you if we run out of power and can't bring the end of this game.
I got you. I'm on it. I'm on it. There goes Morales. Hit hard, 2-yard gain. That's it. Okay, now we got the charger into the laptop.
I at least know my mom. My mom back in Sugar Land is listening to this game intently. She's been texting me, so I think she would be upset if we lost connection here. So
yes,
yeah, it's going to be a good one, Roger. This has been a lot of fun. But yeah, I love the quarterback sneak. I mean, and there you go. You got a big physical offensive line, a big quarterback. I mean, that popped for 6 yards.
Now on that previous play, I gave Morales credit for gaining 2. He only gained 1. So it's 2nd down and 9 for the Rangers from the 32 of George Ranch. Rangers leading 14-7. If they win, they're in the playoffs. Chenier to Marcus Darnell! Down near sideline! He just sprinted down the field, and the Rangers score again! Yes! The Rangers lead at 20-7.
That was Coach Ruthart. They checked that play, Roger. Look at the coaching staff there. Coach Darnell, Coach Oakley, they're all celebrating Coach Ruthart. Coach Darnell just gave his son a hug. Coach Ruthart celebrated Gunnar Chenier. They checked that play. They checked it.
They were going to do something else when they came up?
Yep. Gunnar Chenier was looking to the sideline. They sent in the signal. He communicated the play, and there it was.
Allison Wang with the extra point kick attempt to come to try and make it 21-7 with 9:40 to go. Her kick is up, and it's good. We'll be back. 21-7, Clements over George Ranch. Rangers trying to grab a playoff spot. We'll be back.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
First Tire and Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
Here comes Timothy Kroon's kickoff. It's a good one. Hyman Drinkard looks at it, and it goes into the end zone. Lucky for George Ranch, it looked like it might check up at the 1-yard line. Tim Fisher also kind of looking at the ball, and he might have blown on the ball. So tell us more about that touchdown.
So in our excitement, I don't know if I did a sufficient job describing what happened. We've been talking about how they've been kept throwing the little quick screens to Patrick Smith. They checked the play. I think Coach Ruthart was telling Coach Darno, hey, if we run the slip and go, it's going to be a touchdown. That's exactly what they did. They faked the quick screen. Marcus Darno acted like he was blocking for a second and then went deep, and he was wide open. Chenier hit him in stride.
So he sold it. Cole Murphy dropping back on first down. Now he is pressured. Now he goes down. Sacked at the 20. Loss of 5. Tosan Okopi got him. And he's slow to get up. And the clock keeps running. I think we're going to be down under 9 minutes before George Ranch snaps it again. And they are down by 2 touchdowns, and the Rangers have played beautiful football tonight. They've hurt themselves with some penalties at critical times, and they might even be up by 3 scores if they had been able to avoid those. 2nd down and 15. Give to Drinkard. He's got running room. Look out. Up the middle he goes. Across the 40. Still going. Stiff-arming a man. Punching a man and going out of bounds at the Rangers' 42-yard line. He actually threw a punch, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that if you're a ball carrier. Patrick Smith finally corralled him at the 37, and the clock stops after that play goes out of bounds. 8:45 to go. Fake to Drinkard. Throw to Joseph Wilson, who moves back inside, and what a beautiful play.
Great tackle.
Avery Clark was all over it. He grabbed him by the waist and just threw him down like a wet rag.
That last play to Drinkard, in prior years for Clements, that would have been a touchdown. But Patrick Smith has the foot speed to run Drinkard down and save that touchdown.
2-yard loss on that last play. We're getting down near 8 minutes to go. And now we have a new quarterback, and it is Dion Drinkard. Dion Drinkard has come in as quarterback, replacing Cole Murphy, who started this drive. He throws short, or pumps short, throws deep, ball up in the air and knocked away. Two players going up for it, and it was just a stalemate, and the ball flew out of bounds.
That was essentially the same play that Clements tried to score. They tried to fake the bubble screen and go deep with it, but the receiver wasn't really running the route hard, and the defender was not biting on that at all. I think that was number 20. Titan Chantalak, and he was in great coverage all the way.
It looks harder to say than it is. It's just Chantalak. And Cole Murphy is back in the game. 3 running backs behind him on 3rd and 12. He's bootlegging. Now he's dropping back. He's throwing deep, and nobody there. He's hit hard as he throws, and that hit was administered by Fannin Cross. And it's 4th and 12.
Man.
Ooh, baby. Stop him on 4th and 12, and then run the rock for a few minutes, and
no doubt.
This game may belong to the Clements Rangers. All of you who are listening, it's been 12 years since the Rangers made the playoffs, I believe.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
And they have a chance to clinch a playoff spot on 4th and 12. A whistle and a timeout taken by the George Ranch Longhorns. We'll take it with them and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
When everything works together, it's a beautiful thing. With Xfinity, you get Wi-Fi faster than a gig to power a house full of devices, so your home becomes a symphony of activity. We start with Dad streaming cooking videos in the kitchen. Add a little gaming in the basement. Gorgeous. Now let's bring in some working from the couch. And finally, the sweet melody of Grandpa streaming his nature shows. Can your internet do that? And there goes Grandpa.
Power a house full of connected devices. Learn more about Wi-Fi speed faster than a gig and other fast speed options. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 12/31/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect 50 megabits per second Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig Internet and X-Fi gateway. Actual speeds vary.
Okay, George Ranch lining up on 4th and 12. Murphy drops back, throws to the far sideline, and no coordination whatsoever between receiver and quarterback. It falls incomplete. The Rangers now have the football, no flags, and so the defensive coaches are telling the defense, don't be out there running your mouth, just get off the field, because that's your kind of your objective on defense, get off the field. And now the Rangers can play ball control. You don't want to get too conservative, but they have the opportunity to just run the ball, let clock bleed off, and George Ranch does have 2 timeouts, but you know they're not going to use them anytime soon. By the way, there's a player that the Rangers have. They haven't targeted him tonight. The very tall young man wearing number 11, Joseph Mongonia. He appears to be about 6'6" to me. I think he could be an effective receiver if you throw him a jump ball. Rangers keep it on the ground. There goes Morellis ahead for 3, maybe 4. With 2 arms wrapped around the football. They never switched the down box from 4 to 1. Now they did. Now it says second down. And that was actually just a 3-yard gain for J.R. Morellis, but that's fine.
They're bringing in the outside linebacker, Avery Clark, in for Morellis here at running back.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that runs heavy. It's kind of like some pitchers can throw as fast as another guy, but one guy's fastball is heavier than the other. They give it to Clark, and he runs hard over the left side, but if he got a yard only, if that.
Morellis is cramping. And then number 40 for the Longhorns, Jaquez Franklin is down. It looks like he's clutching his wrist.
Okay, we better take a break. We'll return. It's VypeFortBend.com.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
Well, fans, first of all, we want to let you know that Jaquez Franklin got off the field. He was holding his wrist, but there was a penalty flag. Neither Kovo nor I saw it. And it's a penalty against George Ranch that gives the Rangers a 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. And on first down, they run Avery Clark, and he is clotheslined in the backfield, and down he goes very quickly, courtesy of I'm not sure who it was.
I really like Michael Kazmarevich. His blocking, he takes it seriously, and he's extremely aggressive. I don't think I've ever seen a receiver be so physical with their blocking down the field.
Okay, I think maybe it was Kennard McGuire on that last tackle, but I'm not sure. Sorry about that. Second down, and let's call it 12 for the Rangers. Under 6 minutes to go. They lead 21-7 over George Ranch, and if they win, the Rangers are in the playoffs. And Chenier throws it. He's got Marcus Darnell, turns around, runs down the field, and gets a first down. It's a 14-yard pickup to the 31-yard line. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. They've got one in Greatwood right at the entrance to the subdivision for you George Ranch fans. And for Clements people, they've got one in First Colony. So the clock begins running again now that they have set the chains. The ball is at the 32. I had said the 31, but the Rangers are happy. Just keep possessing the football, running it tough. Ball security is at a premium. There goes Clark, finding his way through the middle, and that's 8 more yards. Knocking back these George Ranch tacklers. It was finally a tackle by Lee Jones, and we have a George Ranch player down. 4:57 to go. The clock is stopped. The Rangers will have a second and short, leading by 14 when we return. We're in the fourth quarter.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Okay, we're back, and the injured player was Matthew Lambert. He's been great tonight, and he was great on Monday night in that continuation of the game against Bush. Second down and less than 2 yards to go for Gunnar Chenier and the Clements Rangers. Avery Clark is in the pistol right behind Chenier. Four and a half minutes to go in the ball game. Play clock is at 10, and Chenier is just going to let it keep on ticking. Okay, now he's ready for the snap. They snap it with 4 on the play clock. There goes Clark, makes a couple of moves, gets the first down. George Ranch has a gang tackle going at the 21-yard line, but once he crossed the 22, it was first down Rangers. They'll reset the chains, and we'll be under 4 minutes. In fact, they should have stopped the clock while the chains were being reset. They've kept it going the whole time. That shouldn't happen.
Nice block there by Nathan Morris. I've recognized him a couple times, picking up the movement there on the edge.
Rangers moving left to right. Fresh set of downs at the 21 of George Ranch. Ball on the right hash mark. And they feed Avery Clark again. He stops before he gets to the line of scrimmage, then puts it in forward gear, puts it in drive again, and picks up 3. Gets to the 18.
Yeah, and the sophomore right tackle, Zach Yuan, also just made a nice pass. I mean, the Clements O-line is wearing down the defense. And I feel, just looking at body language, that Clements is in better condition right now. And I was saying, during the break, that's a staple of a Coach Darnell coach team. I remember coaching with him. He was just maniacal with the conditioning and the wind sprints after practice. I was too. I used to actually run the wind sprints with the kids. But that's a staple of Coach Darnell. He's a physically fit person, and his teams are the exact same way.
They brought the water bug back in. It's Mireles. They feed him. He goes straight up the middle, and he's stoned after a gain of a yard. But he seems to be made out of titanium or something. He just, no matter how hard they hit him,
yes,
he gets right back up.
Man, it's only 2.5 minutes left to go in this game.
Yeah, third and a long 6, a 2-score game. And the Rangers, I thank them, are sucking the drama out of this fourth quarter by just running the football, bleeding the clock, and I think they have broken the will of the George Ranch Longhorns. Chenier on 3rd and a long 6. Takes the snap, hands it to Morellis, running right, gets about 2, that's it. And how about this, Covey? Covey. Cody Ford made the tackle, and I'm thinking right now it's 4th down. How about you bring in Lyle Link, kick a field goal, make it 24-7. But with 2 minutes left, I have a feeling they're just going to go for it. They'll probably just go for it, don't you think?
Let's see, 17, 34-yarder approximately.
Let's see, yeah.
Right,
right about 34.
I like your idea of going of kicking the field goal. You know, because that way that'll put you up 17.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-score game.
Yeah.
That's what it gives you. It gives you the 3-score game. And so if you know the kickers better than I do. If they have someone that does have that range link like you're talking about, or whoever, I would kick it because it is a 4th and 6. It's not a 4th and inches. 4th and inches or something like that, I go for it. But at 4th and 6, I'd kick it here.
Lyle Link is the guy with the strongest leg. I should say the player with the strongest leg.
Yes.
He can make it from there. He's made it from 43 in a game earlier this year at Pasadena. But it looks like they're just going to go for it, and this will be fun. If they make it, they can take a knee. Only one timeout left for George Ranch, and they're down by 14, 4th and 6. Chenier under center, turns, fakes to Morellis, looks in the end zone, throws Patrick Smith. Touchdown! Touchdown, Rangers! And that, my friends, is checkmate. It's over. That's the ball game.
Oh, my God.
Left. Patrick Smith catches one, and that is it.
Oh, Coach Darnell embracing his son Marcus in a huge hug. Wow. Oh, my God. They are going to be partying on Elkins Drive tonight, which is the craziest thing. Clements High School is located in Elkins Drive, which is the weirdest thing
crazy.
to me. But maybe after party at Coach Darnell's house. Wow.
And the high snap. Chenier gets the ball down, and somehow Allison Wang. No, it's Timothy Kroon this time. Yeah. Timothy Kroon gets it between the uprights. And it is now 28-7, 1:50 to go. And it's in the bag, Kobo. They won.
The coach, look at all the coaches embracing him. They're a tight-knit coaching staff. They just gave Gunnar Chenier the turnover chain. I guess he just threw such a great ball there that the defense has made him an honorary defender as Marcus Darnell goes to celebrate with Chenier. Oh, man.
You got to be so proud. Somewhere Derek Carr should be proud, but I have a feeling he doesn't know what's going on here.
He has, you know what? Coach Darnell has told me, Derek Carr does communicate at times with the team. And so Derek Carr, I bet if Coach Darnell tells Derek Carr that Clements has made the playoffs for the first time in 12 years, I bet you Derek Carr is the kind of kid or guy that'll hop on a Zoom and congratulate the team himself. I really bet he would.
You know something else, Kovo? I'm so happy about this. We're not going to run out of juice. This laptop, not the laptop, it's an iPad. It was down to 19%, but we got this. We got this. There's no way George Ranch is scoring 3 touchdowns in the final 150.
Kind of cool. Micah and Marcus Darnell together.
That's
arm
a beautiful
in arm
thing.
On the sideline,
beautiful, beautiful sight. I just wish that Micah had his pads on. That's all. And here we go up through the middle. It is Tim Fisher. He's tripped up near the 25. So he looked like he wanted to set sail, and he might have been one tackler away from doing it, but somebody tripped him up. I think it was Bahovich.
So we need to be on alert. I guarantee you Coach Darnell is going to get dunked with water.
All right.
So just be watchful for that, Roger. It's going to happen. Look, he's positioned himself by himself. He is 20 yards away from the nearest member of his team, 20-plus yards away now. First down and 10, and it is Dion Drinkard throwing into the flat. He's got a completion out to the 37-yard line. I think that's the first catch tonight for Michael Menely. It's not over, but they're going to need a lot of things to go their way.
Well, they've only got one timeout. They're still 61 yards away from the end zone. They need 3 touchdowns. The clock is ticking after they reset the chains. Drinkard, Dion hands it off to Hyman. Hyman finding his way, gets another first down. He's in Ranger territory at the 46. Dion and Hyman. You know anybody with the first name Hyman? Yeah, Drinkard is the only one that I know of, and I don't know anyone else with the last name Drinkard. On 1st and 10, Dion drops back, stands strong, looking down the field, lofts it up. It's in the air, and it falls short of his intended receiver. He was trying to deliver it to Caleb Kaiser, and it's 2nd down and 10.
The Clements coaching staff is really impressive, too. I mean, you see they're hugging after these plays. They're jumping. They're chest bumping. I mean, I've met a lot of these guys, and Coach Darnell has just assembled an awesome staff. And at the end of the day, that's good for kids. You know, so I'm just, God, this is just such an awesome experience right now to witness this.
We're down to 54 seconds. Dion Drinkard rolling to his right, looking down the field. Looking, near the sideline, takes off, and goes out of bounds. That will stop the clock, even though the clock keeps moving. He went out of bounds. What is going on here? You know, George Ranch is not going to win this game, but the clock should have stopped 7 seconds ago. I think they have a defective switch on there.
This stadium is sorely in need of new Daktronics equipment.
Daktronics. Yeah, call Daktronics at...
Let's get taken care of.
Okay. You can give the number some other time, I guess. 3rd down and 7 coming up with... Now I think they're going to adjust the clock that says 38 seconds. It should say 45 or 46. Here comes the referee.
With 43 seconds.
Well, he only is going to give him 43, but whatever. You know, Kovo, I've seen a lot of happy teams after wins. I've seen a lot of dejection after losses. I've been touched emotionally a few times, but hold that thought. 3rd down and 7. Dion Drinkard dropping back, stepping up at the pocket, firing near the goal line. He's got a man open, and the pass is caught for a touchdown. It's a 43-yard touchdown. And who was that? I think it was Joseph Wilson. He's their best receiver, and yes, it was Joseph Wilson. So that closes the gap to 28-13. And there's no need for George Ranch to go for 2 here. It would not. There's no reason to do so. So they do bring on Avalos for their extra point kick with 35 seconds to go, and we know an onside kick will follow no matter what happens on this point after touchdown conversion attempt. Avalos gets it in the air, and it is short. I think it might have been partially blocked by Ferris Rafai.
There he goes. He's celebrating with his team, and I like what we talked about. He made the big mistake at the end of the first half, and that young man he's a captain. He's a leader. I knew that wasn't going to happen again, and he would play big in the second half, and boy, has he delivered.
Okay, so I was just going to say I probably should play a commercial here, but you know I just want to say this. Willow Ridge, when Richard Lazaro was still their head coach, won a playoff game against Waltrip where I think the Eagles were down by 21 points, and they came back and won it in the first round of the playoffs. And when I went out in the parking lot and I saw how many proud Willow Ridge alums had come back for this game, they did not want to leave. It's just a hug fest. They couldn't stop sharing the joy with each other. It was just beautiful. And that really touched me, just walking out through that crowd, getting to see all the smiles. And I think this one is equal to it. There's no question about it. You know, you can see these Clements folks who just, they know they've got it. And this is a great night. Great night. 28-13, 35 seconds left, and we know George Ranch is going to onside kick it. So David Michel, remember he's left-footed, Rangers. That will have something to do with where the ball goes. There it goes, high hop, caught. Rangers have it. It didn't come out. They got it. Rangers football, and all they got to do is burn off the final 33 seconds. And a flag comes down late. Probably George Ranch just harassing. It is Bryce Matthews, who evidently made that catch. And the Rangers can start celebrating. They can just point at the scoreboard if they need to.
Have you ever met Glenn Doc Stray, the athletic trainer at Clements in all your years of covering?
I probably chatted with him without getting his name. That guy right there?
Yeah, and he's been at Clements ever since my first year coaching there in 2007. I know he was there before that, and He's nearing retirement age. He's seen a lot of Clements football.
Oh, it's Glenn Streck, right?
It's pronounced Stray. That's
Stray.
how I pronounce it.
Okay,
Stray.
well, I'm glad I know that now.
You may want to go introduce yourself to him. He's a great guy, but he's seen the 13-1 season. He's seen 0-10 season. As he ends his storied career, he's seeing that team that was 0-10 just a couple years ago going to the playoffs. Doc Stray has seen it all.
One kneel should be enough. Gunnar Chenier has an emergency tackler, Patrick Smith, right behind him. He takes the knee. I don't think George Ranch is going to burn a timeout. Why bother? And fans, we are 25 seconds away from it being official. Did they get him dunked?
They did not. Again, first time in the playoffs, so they forgot to, or maybe they did and we just missed it, but I don't think they did.
So congratulations, Clements Rangers. They go out near midfield. They're between the hash marks, and here come the George Ranch Longhorns ready to shake hands. So the Longhorns have formed a line.
They're doing,
Are they going to do a joint prayer here?
Yes.
I think they are.
This is for Coach De Los Santos. I did hear them talk about this before the game. Yes.
And by the way, we just want everybody to know that Easy De Los Santos, who for the better part of 20 years has been either the head coach or an assistant coach in the Clements baseball program, now on the staff at George Ranch, has been in the hospital for several weeks now. And the two teams are coming to the middle of the field to pray for Coach De Los Santos.
Yeah, Easy or De Los, those are his nicknames.
Israel De Los Santos, otherwise known as Easy.
He when I was a rookie coach at Clements, I mean, he was one of the guys that kind of really welcomed me in with open arms and was always nice to me and made me feel like I was a part of the of the team and not just a rookie coach or a freshman B team coach. So I'm really I owe a lot to him. He was just always such a genuine, kind person. So this is a really powerful movement. It shows how much he means to both of these programs right here. Just this joint, this joint. Thinking of Easy.
Yeah, that this is really good that they can realize what's most important here. And I guess since this is radio, there's not much that Kovo and I can say in this situation, but all the players are kneeling together and they're being led in prayer. And we encourage you to pray for Easy De Los Santos as well. And there is a website called Caring Bridge, and you can sign up to send messages and make donations on the behalf of Israel De Los Santos and his family, and we just pray that he will come through. We want him to be out on fields coaching again. All right, Kovo, I guess I don't really want to wrap this up. This has been an awesome night to be here. So for you, for Les Clary, for Merle Bertrand, Suna Venkat, and everyone on the Vype team, we thank you so much for listening, and congratulations, Clements Rangers. You've given us a night to remember. The final score, 28-13. They defeat George Ranch, and they do it pretty convincingly. And they're going to play next week in the 10th game in week 11 of the season. They'll take on the Bush Broncos, but it doesn't matter how that game comes out. So the playoff qualifiers out of District 26A are, first of all, Ridge Point and Travis. They will both be in the Division I bracket. And then in the Division II bracket, the Rangers and the Bush Broncos. And one of those teams, either Bush, as the fans are now cheering the Rangers. So the Rangers or the Bush Broncos, whoever loses next week's game will have to play the Katy Tigers. So that will give the Rangers a lot of incentive to win. Let's listen.
I just love how Coach Darnell has taught the players the lyrics to the school song. They're singing it together. This is just beautiful.
It was great to share this with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Good night, everybody, and God bless.